Happy Sunday, everybody. With Josh Richardson, I'm Cory Miller on the Gatemen pregame show out in the outfield bleachers. Josh and I will be actually broadcasting out here tonight. Josh, it's not the John Wild press box, but we have a pretty good view tonight.
Hey, Sundays from center, right? This is going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited to, really get this fan vantage point. A lot of people tend to sit behind home plate, but now we get to sit in the outfield, maybe catch some fly balls as well.
I brought my gloves, so I'm hoping someone can hit one our way. As we get back to the team on the field, the Wareham Gatemen, they've won 3 straight, a couple of big divisional wins, including over Hyannis last night. They've moved into 3rd place in the division, just 3 points behind tonight's opponent, Falmouth Commodores.
Yeah, 3 straight wins this weekend so far, 2-0. You beat Bourne, you beat Hyannis, and now you have a chance against Falmouth. Those were the 3 teams in front of Wareham heading into the weekend. So this is a really big spot for the Gatemen to try and come away with this win, only 3 points behind the Commodores. Try and avenge that loss from last week when you had 7 errors and lose 11-4. The last time these 2 teams were here, 4-1 win for Wareham.
Well, a player who's played a big part in this winning streak, especially on the defensive side, is Van Shayen, and he's with our Rayna Maggelet.
Rayna Maggelet joins alongside Wareham Gatemen shortstop Vance Shayen. So Vance, you've maintained a really consistent spot in the lineup as shortstop. What fielding techniques have translated to your success?
Yeah, we've worked in early work, pregame, everything like that, batting practice, just kind of getting through the motions and fielding ground balls and getting the reps in and being consistent with it.
Yeah, so you and Braden Randall, the Gatemen know a lot of you guys toward defensive success. What's the bond like between you two?
It's awesome. It's good to play with them every game up the middle and getting used to each other and getting used to the new fields and everything like that. Yeah. So it's a good connection.
Awesome. Well, good luck tonight. Thank you so much.
Rayna, thank you. A rivalry matchup between the Commodores and Gatemen up next as we await first pitch and opening lineups.
Wareham-based AD Makepeace Company, founded in 1854, is North America's largest cranberry grower and recognized leader in environmentally responsible real estate development and land stewardship. For 171 years, AD Makepeace Company has supported community events and organizations like your Wareham Gatemen. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
For a good piece of glass, call Abby, located at 3 Tyler Ave in East Wareham. Call Abby Glass and Locks about getting a free quote for your windows, doors, locks, and other glass needs.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we know there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. Now that's how we all win. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
A warm welcome back to Spillane Field. Falmouth Commodores getting set to take on the Wareham Gatemen here in Spillane Field, a battle of 2 Western Division opponents, just a couple of minutes away from first pitch. Back with Josh Richardson, I'm Cory Miller as we get set for Sundays in center field here in the outfield bleachers. Josh, not our usual vantage point in the John Wild press box, but hard to beat this view right here.
How about this? This is beautiful out here in left center. Just a beautiful night of baseball here at Spillane Field. You can't beat this. You really can't.
As the Gatemen have taken the field, gives us a chance to take a look at the Gatemen starting pitcher, Southpaw pitcher Cooper Consiglio on the mound for the Gatemen off of a start against Katuitt, backed by a lot of run support, but did a really nice job.
He did 4 2/3, 5 hits, 3 runs, just 2 of them earned. So he's played pretty well since that, his first start of the season against Chatham has just slowly but surely gotten a little bit better and a little bit better. And he had a lot of run support, Cory, 9 runs in the first 2 innings that the Gatemen put up against the Kettleers. He said it really made it easy for him to just go out there and throw strikes. Didn't have to worry too much. Well, now he's in a 0-0 game against the team that leads the West Division in terms of record so far.
When we look at the other side in this Falmouth lineup that has been productive at swinging the bat, it starts with Antonio Morales, the center fielder, leads things off. Carl Schmidt, the third baseman, bats second. Batting third, Kent Schmidt. Behind him in the cleanup spot, Bear Harrison. Justin Osterhaus, the second baseman, bats fifth. Batting sixth, the DH, Ryan Zuckerman. Tristan Salinas, the left fielder, bats seventh. Batting eighth in right field, Ashton Wilson. And rounding things out, the shortstop, Chris Newstrom.
Yeah, let's not get either of Carl and Ken Schmidt confused, batting right next to each other in this order. The good news for the Gatemen, no Micah New in the lineup. That's been one of the Commodores' best hitters all season. So now you get a chance. You avoid him in this lineup. Consiglio has a great chance. Get ahead early. Try and get 4 straight wins.
And the defense behind him, obviously the last time these two teams met, a Wareham defense that put up 7 errors didn't help their cause. But they bounced back in some recent performances. In the outfield starts with Clark, Cruz, and Turner left to right. Along the infield, Shane, Ramirez, Randall, McDonald third to first. And Rogers behind home plate for Consiglio. A couple of Gatemen making their first starts of the summer.
Yeah, 2 new faces and new names in this lineup for Wareham. Chris Ramirez at shortstop. He actually got the final putout in the win against Hyannis yesterday. He said for a second he lost the ball in the air, but all's well that ends well. Made the grab to give the Gatemen a win over the Harbor Hawks. And then Drew Rogers behind the plate started his season against Brewster. Now here for Wareham for the rest of the year.
First pitch is hit back up the middle. Diving grab by Ramirez. Throws to first. Past the attempt of McDonald to scoop it out. Valiant effort by Ramirez on a loud comebacker right back up the middle. First pitch and a leadoff single for the Commodores.
I was about to say, what a first impression that could have been if Ramirez was able to make that sliding grab. It was really close, but the speed of Morales made that internal clock for Ramirez just a little bit tick too fast. Tough play.
Brings up the first of the Schmidts, as we mentioned. Carl Schmidt, the third baseman, at 296, a homer, 9 RBIs. Morales on it first after the leadoff single, just 1 pitch. As Josh said, Ramirez made that last out last night. Came in as a defensive replacement, did get in at bat, 0 for 1. And Drew Rogers, his first start as a Gateman behind the plate. Consiglio now from the stretch, fires in high on Carl Schmidt. The ERAs you saw for Consiglio out of NC State down to 4.02. Again, his team staked him to plenty of run support when he pitched a week ago today against Katuitt. That pitch sails high. 9 runs over the course of the first 2 innings for Wareham in that game. Ended up putting 16 on the Kettleers in total.
That game really started a really good week for the Gatemen. 4 out of 5.
Another fastball that misses high in the zone. 3 straight balls to begin the at-bat to Carl Schmidt. Consiglio in danger of allowing the first 2 Commodores hitters to reach. 3-0 pitch on the way. Locates on the inside corner, and it's 3-1. Commodores enter at 10-10-1. As it'll be a 3-1 pitch on the way. At the knees, Schmidt thought he was headed to first base, has to come back. Correction, Falmouth at 11-11-1, tied for the lead in the West Division with 23 points. Wareham at 10-13-0, just 3 off the lead between Hyannis and Falmouth.
Just such a big matchup for these 2 teams. Split the first 2 matchups. Take this one, you're in control.
From 3-0 to 3-2, that pitch is caught on and missed. Credit Consiglio battled back, and he gets his first out of the game.
And thinking about it, Cory, if Wareham can grab this win, make it 4 straight, 5 out of 6 on the week, that has to feel good. You know, thinking about where this team was 7 days ago, losing the first 5 games in the month, you come back, you respond, potentially could be just a game out, or a point rather, out of first place in the division.
Gatemen have certainly battled back after opening the month of July with 5 straight losses. Morales dives back safely on the pickoff attempt. That included a loss to this Commodores team last Saturday, 11-4, and quite possibly, and we said it at the time, the Gatemen's worst loss of the summer, the 7 errors on defense. The game just kind of got out of hand, especially in the late stages of it. Ken Schmidt, the first baseman, as they have Morales picked off, throw down to second, got him. Morales tried a little swim move, tag applied though. Credit Consiglio. He picked Morales off. They get him down at second, and now that erases the base runner.
It's tough to try and swipe a bag on a lefty. Consiglio did a really nice job dishing that over. Great play from McDonald. Give it over to Ramirez, who was covering the bag, and applied the tag.
So now no one on, 2 away for Kent Schmidt. 282, 2 homers, 13 RBIs for the lefty. Consiglio's 1-0 pitch. Catches the zone for a called strike one. We mentioned that loss to Falmouth for Wareham last Saturday. Since then, though, they've won 4 of 5, only dropping a game to Brewster. But they've rattled off 3 straight wins as Consiglio comes home. High fly ball into left field. Ramirez jogging out. Calling him off is Levi Clark, who makes the grab to end of the top of the first. No runs, 1 hit, and no runners left on in the top of the first for the Commodores. After the top of the inning, it's Falmouth 0 and Wareham coming to bat on Cape League TV.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
A+ repairs smartphones, tablets, game consoles, and computers. Get it done right the first time.
Cape Cod Central Railroad is proud to sponsor the Wareham Gatemen for the 2nd year in a row. Experience the scenic beauty of Cape Cod like never before. Journey through picturesque marshes, cranberry bogs, and dunes on our historic rail line. Whether you're savoring a 5-course gourmet dinner, enjoying a Sunday brunch with a live jazz band, or bringing the family on a narrated excursion, there's a ride for everyone. Departing from Hyannis and Buzzards Bay, visit capetrain.com to book your ride today.
Welcome back to Sundays in Center. The Gatemen posted a 0 in the top half of the inning against Falmouth. Now Leif Palmer takes over on the mound for the Commodores, hoping to keep this Wareham offense quiet at the plate.
Righty out of Oregon State. He hasn't had a very quiet season so far for the Commodores, albeit just 1 game. Came in relief, pitched 2 innings, gave up 4 runs, just 2 of them earned though, so a 9 ERA for him entering play. This is a great opportunity to try and take advantage of that. Get on the board early, something the Gatemen have been so good about over the course of this week. Really, the entire month of July has just been scoring runs early and often. Give yourself that cushion and then continue to apply more and more as the game progresses.
The lineup that really has been carrying a lot of this team throughout the win streak. It starts with Braden Randall, the second baseman at the top. Levi Clark, Hunter Carnes follow. Chase Cruson making his season debut in the cleanup spot. Colby Turner, Caden McDonald, Van Shane, 5, 6, 7. Drew Rogers and Chris Ramirez, both in their first Gateman starts, round out the lineup for Ryan Smythe.
5 of the first 6 batters for the Gatemen hit over 300, so that tells you just how hot these bats have been.
Randall swinging at the first pitch he sees. Skies a high pop-up along the infield. Twisting and turning is the third baseman, Carl Schmidt. Makes the catch for out number 1. Brings up Levi Clark. This top 3 in the order for Wareham, Randall, Clark, Carnes, really especially since the calendars flipped from June to July. This has just been the staple at the top of the order for the Gatemen. We've seen Chris McHugh lead off a couple of times, but it's really been Randall, Carnes, and Clark almost exclusively for Ryan Smythe.
It's really been one of those situations where Randall's kind of been the guy that's stuck there in that leadoff spot. He's kind of hit around 5, 8, 9, maybe used as a second leadoff man, but when you have a guy of his caliber, his speed, leading off the game, feels like a no-brainer.
It certainly helps when you can set the table for the 2 guys behind him at Clark and Carnes. Clark, that is, at 338. Carnes at 394, the 2 catchers. Both of them getting the night off from behind the plate. Levi in left field. Carnes the DH tonight. Clark was 1 for 4 with an RBI.
3
last
catchers
night.
in the lineup. When's the next time you're going to see that happen?
And we've seen Carnes start behind the plate in back-to-back games, but trying not to overwork him behind the plate. Again, Levi drove in that big insurance run in the Gatemen, their 3-2 win over Hyannis last night. 2-2 pitch. Pop foul. The game in which the Gatemen trailed early. Hyannis got the first run of the contest in the third. No runs were scored until the 8th. Caden McDonald, the pinch hit, go-ahead 2-run shot to give Wareham its first lead of the night. Another foul ball off the bat of Levi Clark.
That was just an electrifying home run, Cory. Really just completely flipped that game on its head. Gateman took control, didn't look back. Got a little shaky in the 9th. Same thing that happened in the 9th against Bourne back on Friday, but pitching closed it out. You have to credit the Gateman for that.
Clark engaged in a good battle right now. Another 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Palmer wins the battle, sets down Clark swinging, too quickly retired to begin the home half of the first.
It's a nice pitch from Palmer to blow it by Clark. Not an easy guy to strike out. Had a tough day at the plate yesterday. He had that RBI single to give the Gatemen another insurance run. Go up 3-1 at that point, but before that he was 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. Just in a bit of a rut. Everybody, it happens to everybody. He'll be all right.
It speaks to the fact that he's still been so productive up until this run. He still comes in hitting .338. And now it's Hunter Carnes on the 1-0 pitch, taking on the outside corner for a called strike 1. Carnes was 0 for 3 last night. Batting average now below 400. OPS still above 1,100, though. Homer and 7 RBIs for the FSU product. Lays off that pitch up in the zone. And Wareham enters this contest 3 points behind division leaders Hyannis and Falmouth. They gained ground last night. Obviously couldn't take that first place spot with a 2-point win tonight, but could certainly really make things interesting with a win over Falmouth tonight.
They're by no means out of it. It's just one of those situations, Cory, that everybody is just so bunched up together. It just feels like it's going to come down to the last day of the season or last week of the season for all 5 of these teams to see who's going to squeak into the playoffs and who's going to miss.
Payoff pitch. Popped in the air. Shallow center field. Osterhaus backpedaling, makes his way into the outfield and makes the catch for out number 3. 3 up, 3 down for the Gatemen in the home half of the first. No runs to speak of. We played an inning. Stay tuned to Cape League TV for all the action.
Insurance has been servicing Wareham and the surrounding areas since 1980. Call Legacy Insurance for all your insurance needs at 508-295-1315. Legacy Insurance, your hometown agency.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings. They're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
When it comes to protecting your home, car, or business, trust the team that's been covering our community for generations. For personalized coverage and service that you can count on, the choice is easy. It's Morse, of course. Visit morseins.com today.
These two division rivals trading zeros here after the first inning of play. Welcome back to Sundays in Center here in Wareham at Spillane Field with Josh Richardson. I'm Cory Miller. Josh, sitting amongst everyone in the outfield bleachers, I know we brought the glove. We're ready for
I'm ready,
possible home
Cory.
run.
It's your glove, actually, so you're very generous for letting me wear it. I'll have to give it back to you for when I take over in the second half.
Well, it seems like we're in a pretty prime spot possibly for a home
we
run.
saw Colby Turner hit one about 4 rows behind us. He certainly has a chance. Everybody here does.
Out here in left center field. Certainly there's more shallow parts you can hit it out, but definitely not the deepest part of the park either. But yeah, we saw Colby Turner smash a few in batting practice right up in this area. Bear Harrison begins the second against Consiglio. Laces that pitch into left field. It's down in front of Clark. A leadoff base hit for Bear Harrison. Came in slashing .235, 2 homers, 10 RBIs, and the catcher only adding to that total with a leadoff single in the second.
Also remember, Corey, as it stands right now, Falmouth and Wareham tied with 19 home runs apiece. That's first across all of Cape Cod. So 2 programs that are very familiar with the long ball, using it to their respective advantages throughout the season. I'm ready to catch one if it comes at me.
Checking over on Harrison. Close play, and they got him. Morales was caught stealing back in the first. Now it's Bear Harrison picked off here in the second. Both leadoff singles erased. Credit to Consiglio.
It's tough to steal bags on a lefty, and Cooper Consiglio making both Morales and Harrison pay. Just brilliant on the mound from the lefty.
In 2 situations, Morales had that base hit up the middle in the first, and Harrison that hard hit base hit just a couple pitches ago. Both erased. Consiglio getting that first out of those respective innings. Working here to Osterhaus as he slides in a breaking ball. Osterhaus at 258. The second baseman that is entering play. 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Osterhaus a big swing and a miss at a breaking ball. Second strikeout of the evening for the Gatemen southpaw.
Now, both of these innings have ended up the same way so far. A single, then a pickoff. Strike out the second batter. Ken Schmidt flew out to left field to end the first. Maybe Ryan Zuckerman can do the same here in the second.
Zuckerman, 250 hitter, no homers, 2 RBI. First pitch he sees from Consiglio is way high, and it definitely seems like if we are going to see a home run in our vicinity, it will most likely come from a righty. Haven't really seen any lefties go the opposite way here at Spillane Park for a homer. 1-0 pitch off the glove of Drew Rogers, 2-0.
I don't know if we've seen a lefty go the other way yet this season for Wareham in general. The only opposite field home runs, Levi Clark had 2 against Orleans at Orleans. Other than that, everything's really been to the pull side. Maybe center field of that pull side, but nothing really to the opposite park. Seen a few doubles, though.
Yeah, Zuckerman a big swing and a miss, 2-1 now. And as Josh mentioned, this is a Falmouth team with plenty of power. Both teams enter 19 home runs, but Commodores can score runs no matter how they get them. It's now 3-1 on Zuckerman. Salinas on deck. Falmouth enters play with 116 runs scored this summer. That's the most across the Cape, 3rd in hits. 3rd in slugging percentage, so the offense has really been a strong suit for Falmouth. They appeal the half-hearted swing to first. Zuckerman did not go around, says Mike Hinojosa, and the 2-out walk gives the Commodores a base runner.
Yeah, tied for first in runs. You mentioned they're up there with hits. Tied for first in home runs. This team scores, and they score plenty. Falmouth didn't start off the season strong, but have kind of been on a tear as of late. Brought them back up to 500. Now that's kind of where they've, for lack of a better term, plateaued.
Zuckerman back on the pickoff attempt. Well, Falmouth lost 4-1 last night to YD. They're 5-4 across their last 9 games, but they're 2-8 against teams that are 500 above entering those respective games. Salinas at 429 this summer, and the first pitch he sees from Consiglio's in the dirt gets by Rogers, and an easy advance for Salinas into scoring position at second. But as you were kind of saying, Hyannis has kind of struggled. They've held that division lead for pretty much the entire summer, but
since opening day, they started 1-0. They beat the Gatemen right here at Spillane Field to start off the season, and they haven't looked back until July hit.
Yeah.
The Gatemen started off the month struggling, 0-5, but have picked it around, turned it around this week, picked up the game. Hyannis is kind of leveled off at that. What are they now? 2-8-1.
A pitch swatted out of play behind home plate.
2-8-1 this month, something around that. I mean, they haven't been very good, yeah.
It just feels like them and the Commodores, they've been at the top of the standings when you look at it in July. They've just kind of been treading water, though. And that's allowed a team like Wareham, who has gotten hot after a tough start to the month, to really gain ground, and they're right in the thick of things for the top of the division. 1-1 pitch. Consiglio now ahead on the lefty Salinas.
And that's the thing. Not only does it allow Wareham to get back in the thick of things after a bad start this month, but Katuitt struggled to start the year. Now they're 9-12-2, tied with Wareham in terms of points. Everybody is just so close.
1-2 pitch, stays high on a fastball.
It's why when you get into the second half of this season, as these teams are now, the All-Star break coming up next weekend, every game against a division opponent is going to be a big game for the playoff picture.
1 on, 2 away. Now a 2-2 from Consiglio. Breaking ball. Salinas ducks underneath of it. Payoff pitch coming with Ashton Wilson on deck. The Gatemen early on in June had a chance to maybe make a run for that first spot in the division. Came in just under 500, but then towards the end of the month, that's where things started to fall apart initially. But again, they've rebounded since then. And now another chance for them to make that push now in the second half of the season for the top spot in the division. Consiglio looking Zuckerman back at second.
They ended June with a nice win at Eldridge Park, 6-4 over Orleans. That transferred into an off day on Monday. You come out, okay, now you battle the worst team in Cape Cod record-wise against Chatham. Doesn't go your way.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Another strong inning for Cooper Consiglio. No runs, 1 hit, 1 runner left on for Falmouth. We played an inning and a half here at Spillane Field. 0-0 between these two squads. Stay tuned to Sundays in Center on Cape League TV.
If you need to dig, lift, move, grade, clear, or cut, pump, weld, clean, light, and just about anything else, dial up the rental source for the newest and the most reliable equipment in New England. Staffed with equipment and construction experts, Milton Rents, your local source.
As the sponsor of tonight's game, PCT Federal Credit Union is proud to root for the home team. We're thrilled to offer great rates on auto loans, home equity lines of credit, and so much more. Visit us on Cranberry Highway in West Wareham.
Reed Custom Soils, a subsidiary of the AD Makepeace Company, is New England's most experienced precision soil blender. Reed is the leading provider of the lightweight planting soil for green roof installations, stabilized stone dust for nature paths and pedestrian walkways, bioretention rain garden soils, and specialized soils for athletic fields, including your newly renovated Spillane Field. To learn more, visit reedcustomsoils.com.
Shameless Plug Electric, hitting home runs on every job. Wareham's top choice for electrical work. Call Shameless Plug Electric.
It's a
Gatemen coming to the plate, and we're so excited. Sundays
oh man,
at Center.
I wanted to cut you off, Cory.
Wait.
Oh man, I was excited.
Gatemen coming to the plate in the bottom of the second. Again, welcome back to Sundays in Center. We talked about it already, Josh, but how cool is this out with the fans in the bleachers? I mean, it doesn't really get any better.
I love it. I mentioned I have my glove on. I'm ready to. I mean, you know, the Phillies have done games in center field. The Red Sox, Dave O'Brien just called a game off the Monster a few earlier this week. I mean, this is just a fantastic opportunity that we have to just see the game from the outfield, from the fans' point of view. You know, a lot of people like to sit, you know, behind home plate in the bleachers down the first baseline, but we get to be out in center field. This is great. There's nothing better than this.
And a credit to our producers, Chuck Luarasi and Abby Smith, for making it happen logistically.
It's not easy to pull off.
No.
And we thank them so much for all that they do.
I mean, and you talked about the Phillies. We were talking about it earlier, how cool it was when Tom McCarthy was broadcasting that game in center field, ended up catching a home run while they were out there.
Yeah, Freddie Freeman, just a bullet off of his bat. And it was a nice catch. You know, maybe we can do the same, show off the athleticism.
Why not?
We've talked about it a little bit. You know, we've teased maybe not our baseball abilities, but
Bruson hits it hard on the ground. Osterhaus makes a nice play and throws out the Gateman center fielder at first for out number 1 in the last of the second. Well, now here's a guy in Colby Turner who hit a few our way during batting practice, so maybe here's a chance in the game to give us a chance.
And he's done it during games, too. He has 3 home runs at Spillane Field this year. He can certainly drill it all the way around the park, but his pull side is dangerous.
Goes after that. First pitch pops it foul out of play. Colby, one of the Gatemen All-Stars, will be an All-Star starter for the West team, along with teammates Hunter Carnes, Chase Cruson, Caleb Appleby, Josh Butler, rounding out the All-Star selections for Wareham. Another pop fly out of play. Again, that All-Star game commencing next weekend at YD's Red Wilson Field. And Easton Breifogel, he'll participate in the Home Run Derby. Right now it's 0-2 on Turner. He offers and misses at that pitch right there. 2 up, 2 down. And now Palmer has retired the first 5 Gatemen hitters he's faced tonight.
Yeah, Palmer's been off to a really solid start. Certainly a bounce back. Second appearance on the season, his first start on the mound. He's provided in a good way. 2 strikeouts.
Caden McDonald blasts that one into center field. It's down for a base hit. A night off of a pinch hit, go-ahead 2-run homer. Caden McDonald keeps swinging the bat. A 2-out base hit here in the second.
And not just that, Corey. The day before in the win over Bourne right here at Spillane Field, 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs on 2 singles. I mean, incredible. He is just on a tear.
I mean, that home run yesterday just so big as it brings up Van Shane, who comes in at 190, a homer and 5 RBIs. Takes a called strike. You're playing a divisional opponent who's been at the top of the division, as you said, since opening day. You're behind them. You're trailing the whole game. The offense isn't getting going. And to come in cold off of the bench and deliver a go-ahead 2-run shot to lift your team now 3 points away from a first-place spot, maybe the biggest at-bat of the season for Wareham so far.
And you also have to remember, Corey, that McDonald isn't somebody that had the luxury of hitting a whole lot during his college season this past year. He was a 2-way guy in high school when he played at Sickles for Gateman pitching coach Eric Luxus. But in his time at Florida, he's primarily just been on the mound. So to come in and do that, you know, we said earlier this summer that, well, you know, he's just having fun. He's not worried about his stats. He's just getting comfortable seeing, you know, live pitches again. It really is incredible.
That pitch in the dirt. Harrison got a piece of it, not enough for an advance for McDonald, and it's 3-1 on Cheyenne. And McDonald obviously not far removed from a win over Orleans when he threw 5 innings of 2-run ball. So he's really been a productive 2-way player for Wareham this summer. Has a save out of the bullpen as well. Cheyenne taking on 3-1. And works himself a 2-out walk. All of a sudden, 2 runners on for the Gatemen, first and second, 2 away. For a guy now making his Gateman debut in Drew Rogers.
Yeah, here's a great chance to make a first impression. Drew Rogers struggled earlier this season with Brewster, released from the Whitecaps, picked up by the Gatemen. Hit a $167 over in the East Division. Here's a big spot for him, 2 on, 2 outs.
His first Gateman at bat against Palmer. First pitch he sees, called strike 1. As Josh said, Rogers did play 9 games for the Whitecaps before they released him. Just finished his freshman campaign at Georgia Tech. Batted .269, 6 homers, 18 RBIs for the Yellow Jackets. 2 runners on for him here. Bottom of the second. Takes inside 1-1. A guy in Rogers who is rated as the number 3 catcher, 23rd prospect in his class by Perfect Game. So obviously coming out of high school, a prized commitment going to Georgia Tech. With 2 away and 1-1 pitch to him. Dances outside, 2-1.
Like to see him working this count here. McDonald second, Vance on first. 2 guys that have some speed if you need them to.
Early RBI situation for Rogers and the Gatemen. That pitch came up and in. Looked like it might have came up and in and caught the knob of the bat. Tough break for Rogers. So it's 2-2.
Certainly up and in on him, but just kind of turned his bat in almost like a defensive swing.
Rogers now calling time to get another look at the pitch up and in. Off the handle, the knob of the bat by Rogers. Gatemen back to 3 catchers on their roster. The departure of Mac Rose a couple weeks ago was just Carnes and Clark. Now a 3rd catcher in the mix with Rogers as well. 1st and 2nd. And the 2-2 pitch. High fly ball, deep to left field. That ball is gone. Welcome to the Gatemen, Drew Rogers. First at bat, first home run. Wareham's up by 3.
How about that? Nice to meet you, Drew Rogers. You just earned some fans here at Spillane Field. That was a missile, Cory. I mean, he just pulverized that ball. Wow. Early lead, 3-0.
And the crazy thing about that at bat, we could hear even all the way out here, the Gateman dugout saying that Palmer had balked on the mound. Play went on, and it actually benefited Wareham that the umpires didn't call a balk.
Hey, out of sight, out of mind. Not going to complain about that. And now you've got that 3-0 lead. We've talked about how crucial it's been scoring runs in the first 2 innings of games. They did it again here tonight. Now you give Consiglio a little bit of run support.
Tough act for Chris Ramirez to foul, albeit it's not his first Gateman at bat. Was 0 for 1 last night after he appeared as a defensive replacement. But his first start as a Wareham Gateman. Ramirez out of Cal Baptist, 5'8", 160-pound infielder. Just saw Drew Rogers give Wareham a 3-0 lead, bottom of the 2nd, and now a 1-1 pitch. Ramirez taking, called strike 2. As you said, Ramirez made the final out last night on the pop-up. We saw him during batting practice today. He was making some nice plays, flashing the leather.
Oh, yeah. I mean, defensively, he's playing at that shortstop position. He was locked down. Some leaping grabs, coupled with his backhand, ranging over left and right. Defensively, he'll be a great tool in this Gateman lineup.
He's worked the count to 2-2 with no one on as he shoots that one down the right field line. On the run is Wilson. That ball lands as it drifts into the corner. Ramirez digging to 2. He slides in safely. A pair of Gateman hitters making their first starts with Wareham, announcing their presence emphatically.
How about this? 2 of the 3 Gateman hits tonight coming from the 2 newest guys in the order. Way to make an impression. These guys are picking up right where this Wareham team has been left off over this past week. It's great to see them buying in to kind of what this team has rallied around during this winning streak.
So now back to the top of the order, and Braden Randall takes a first pitch low for ball 1. This whole rally started with 2 outs. The Caden McDonald base hit, the Van Sheen walk. Rogers drove them both in with the home run, then Ramirez the 2-strike double. Randall popped out to begin the home half of the first. Palmer's pitch. And now all of a sudden, after Palmer retired the first 5 Gateman batters, behind now 2-0 on Randall, he's already allowed 3 runs. Hitters count for Randall, 2-0 pitch up and in. Levi Clark waiting on deck. Randall at 308, no homers, 7 RBIs this summer. Tallied a double in the win last night. Scored an insurance run for the Gatemen. 3-0 pitch. Taking on the inside corner, called strike 1.
Yeah, he's not somebody that's going to wow you with his power. Just a gap-to-gap hitter. But even still, that's something that could really play to the Gatemen's advantage at this point, with Ramirez's speed going on the crack of the bat.
That one is blasted into right center field. Morales back. It lands in front of him. Rounding third and scoring easily is Ramirez. Randall into second. An RBI double, make it 4 for the Gatemen in the second.
Gap-to-gap hitter. Braden Randall always finds a spot to place that ball where it's going to get down. Just a beautiful piece of hitting from the Gatemen second baseman. Now you bring up Levi Clark with another man in scoring position. Just keep on extending this lead. What a start here in the second.
You know, we've talked about the first inning runs for the Gatemen as we get another look on this double by Randall. He gave that one a ride, as you said, gap to gap. No home runs, but he's had plenty of doubles. Leads this Gatemen team with 7 doubles now this summer. So now he's in scoring position for Levi Clark. All with 2 away. Palmer looking for that third out. There goes Randall for third. Pitch up high, throw down in plenty of time. Randall gets around the tag, though.
What a swim move. That throw from Harrison beat him by about 3 steps. Schmidt tried to apply the tag. Nifty move from Randall to move 90 feet away.
A kind of, as you said, swim move, the okey doke. Clark hits it hard up the middle, bobbled there by Newstrom, and another run scores. The runs continue to score for Wareham, all with 2 outs. It's 5-0.
And now how big is that stolen base? Moves him over into score. Clark over at first. That's just huge. Gatemen are piling on here in the second. Could have been so easy. You hit that 3-run home run. Okay, you know, now we'll concede. Now we get out of the inning. No, piled on 2 more runs. 5-0 now.
Now the second at-bat of the game for Hunter Carnes. Another try for Newstrom at short. Fields this one cleanly and throws to first in time for out number 3. But not before the Gatemen tack on 5 runs in the second, highlighted by Drew Rogers, his first at-bat as a Gateman, a 3-run shot to open the scoring. It's 5-0 Wareham through 2 innings of play on Cape League TV.
Getting a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or a family member has been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all of the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website, www.rkm-law.com.
The Gatemen plate 5 in the bottom half of the second. Welcome back to Sundays in Center. We couldn't be happier. Gatemen faithful, I don't think it'd be any happier. Can't ask for much more. Drew Rogers, the 3-run homer. Didn't obviously come our way, but we'll take it.
And it was close enough. I mean, what a start to this game. Just happy that it got out of the park. 5 runs, second inning for Wareham. Just a huge spot.
Ashton Wilson, Chris Newstrom, and Antonio Morales, 8-9-1 for Consiglio. Almost kind of feels like deja vu for Cooper on the mound as his first pitch of the top of the third inning is a breaking ball in for a called strike. It's not the 9 runs of run support he got through 2 innings against Katuitt, but it's 5. His offense has certainly helped him out and made things easier on his end.
Yeah, now he can pitch a little bit more freely than, maybe he was thinking he could over the first 2 innings.
Gets Wilson swinging with a fastball there, 0-2. And obviously, we've talked about the Gatemen tied for the league in first inning runs scored. An 0-2 pitch on the way. Here is lined into right field, falling fast. in falling in front of Colby Turner. Third straight inning with the leadoff hit for the Commodores. This time it's Ashton Wilson leading off the third.
Just a good hit from Wilson to go the other way, but again, Consiglio has a lot of breathing room now, and just because you can pitch freely, that still means that you need to locate and execute on your spots. Something that him and Drew Rogers probably talked about before heading back out there. Hey, we scored 5 runs. Doesn't mean you want to give it right back. Has to be the conversation.
Newstrom fouls it right back at 151, a homer, 3 RBIs for the shortstop. And Consiglio was able to do a solid job of that. The 9 runs his team staked him to that lead against Cotuit. He ended up going over 4 innings in that game. Cotuit was able to pile on the runs later on, but Consiglio kind of got lost how well he threw as the starter amongst all the runs the Gatemen scored.
You know, he put the Gatemen in a position to end that one early via the mercy rule. Just kept Cotuit to just a few hits, a couple runs as well. He pitched really, really well. 4 2/3 innings. That was a season high at that point. Still is.
An 0-2 pitch, way high on a fastball. And to get back to the first inning runs, obviously tonight it was the 5 in the second, but whether it's the first, the second, you're scoring runs early. If you're Wareham, it probably doesn't really matter which inning it is. You're scoring the runs often and early.
Yeah, 5 in the first against the Cavaliers and then 4 more in the second. Just be happy with where you are now. Every game is a new game, and to be able to continue to produce at a high level early on in contests, that's how you win games.
From 0-2 to 2-2 now. Newstrom battling Consiglio. Wilson on at first. They'll throw over. He's back standing.
You have to imagine that Wilson is going to be playing awfully close to first base. 2 guys already picked off from Consiglio today. Definitely a good way to shut down any Falmouth stealing opportunities.
Another pickoff attempt once again. Wilson's back. And this kind of hot stretch for the Gatemen started with a pair of offensive wins against Cotuit and Orleans. Brewster, the loss mix in there. They only scored 2 runs, but as of late, it's been much closer games for Wareham. 2-2 pitch. On the inside corner for a called strike 3. The 4th strikeout of the night for Consiglio gets his first out here in the top of the 3rd.
Yeah, 16 runs against Cotuit, 10 against Orleans. Brewster, you had those 2 runs early. Then the game gets delayed due to some lightning. The bats go cold after that. Don't have a hit outside of that first inning. So a tough game against the Whitecaps. And then followed up, obviously, against Orleans. And then 2 closer games against Brewster and Hyannis this weekend. Managed to squeeze them out, both 1-run wins.
And that, we talked about it yesterday, what Ryan Smythe has talked about, how obviously some games the offense is going to fire on all cylinders and you're going to score double-digit runs like they have against Cotuit and Orleans. Rolled right back to Consiglio, makes a nice play. Wild throw to second, though. Ramirez had to step off the bag, and everyone's safe.
Yeah, Ramirez tried to get there in time. That could have been 2, ended up being 0. Just a errant throw from Consiglio. It's tough sometimes for pitchers to deliver accurate throws to the bags because they're so used to, throwing pitches and trying to get good movement. Drifted Ramirez off the bag. A great chance to escape the inning, and now it's 2 on and 1 out for Falmouth.
Yeah, it could have been an inning-ending double play, and now the Commodores trying to strike right back. Down by 5. Wilson on at second. There go the runners. Throw will head down to second in plenty of time. Randall applies the tag, and Morales is gunned down. And how about Drew Rogers? Hits a homer in the bottom of the second, throws out a runner in the top of the 3rd.
You get 1 run there, you get 1 runner there. Now Wilson moves over 90 feet away. You still have to execute if you're Consiglio here. Try to escape this inning. Gonna feel pretty good if you can.
Big swing and a miss. Schmidt struck out swinging back in the 1st. Consiglio was charged with an error on that play. Was able to erase Morales. Pitch here to Schmidt, another big swing and a miss.
Now you got 2 strikes. Execute a nice pitch here. Try and get Schmidt to whiff at something, keep him off balance.
Trying to strand the runner on at third, Consiglio. 1-2 pitch with 2 away. Hard hit on the ground. Ramirez fields cleanly, throws across to first in time for out number 3. For the Commodores, no runs, 1 hit, 1 runner left on. A little bit of traffic for Cooper Consiglio. No damage so far through 3 innings. Wareham out in front by 5. We played 2.5 here at Spillane Field.
Turf Specialties has set the standard for high-quality natural grass athletic field construction. As a full-service athletic field construction company, we specialize in design, build, and renovation of native soil, modified soil, and sand-based athletic fields. Our team will provide you with superior quality, expert guidance, and continuing support long after the completion of our project. We are proud to have built the infield for the Wareham Gatemen field. Go Gatemen.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player. You can make any bat feel lighter by adding a velo puck knob. Instead of having to go get a whole entirely new bat, you can simply add the puck to it. Players can use this with any bat. It's basically going to shift the weight of the bat a little bit more towards the hands. Players are able to hit the ball a lot harder just by simply adding the puck on.
Welcome back to Sundays in Center. A good start for the Gatemen through 2.5 innings. Had the 5-run second. Consiglio's been sharp on the mound, and it's all Wareham so far.
Can't complain about a 5-run cushion. Now you have a great chance to continue to add on for more. That's been the one thing that, both we've talked about a bunch, as well as a lot of Gatemen coaches. Mike Mobbs has said that this team needs to be relentless from inning 1 to inning 9 when the bat is in their hands. What we've also said is that complacency kills. Sometimes things can get a little dicey when you score a bunch early and give the opposing team a lot of time to try and make up that number. But when you keep adding, it makes it so much more difficult.
After the rough second, Palmer exits. Max Stifler out of West Virginia, the 6'7", 210-pound righty, takes over out of the bullpen. This is just his second game of the summer for Falmouth. His first came as a start, went an inning and a third, allowed 3 earned runs.
Stifler was projected to start this game earlier today when we were getting the projections off of the Cape Cod website. And now he comes in relief. And he hasn't pitched very great this season, just the 1 appearance. He did start. Inning and a third, 3 earned runs, 20.25 ERA.
Quite high.
I'd say so.
He faces Cruson to lead things off, followed by Turner and McDonald, 4-5-6 for the Gatemen. And obviously the relentless mentality preached by Mike Mobbs is paying off over the course of this stretch. 3 straight wins. They've won 4 of 5. First pitch to Cruson is way up and away. And obviously, as Ryan Smythe has said, you're not going to score a ton of runs every single game. It's just not going to happen. Sometimes it's going to be those low-scoring games like we saw last night. But it was such a kind of welcome relief. Obviously, it was a huge home run by McDonald, but Wareham, as we talked about a few games ago, they've been so great innings 1 through 6 inning, but 7 through 9 they've struggled, but they scored and turned the game around in the 8th.
It's going to be a battle sometimes, right? I mean, not everything can be a 16-9 win when you're up by 10 for a majority of the game. It can't be a 10-2 win when you score 7 runs in the first inning. Sometimes you're going to have to grind out wins. Sometimes you score early, but then Bourne rallies back, ties it in the 7th, and you have to go out and score those go-ahead runs, win 5-4. Sometimes you're going to be losing for a majority of the game, and one swing just completely turns the game on its head. Caden McDonald did that yesterday, and you take a win over Hyannis any way you can.
Cruson saw 4 pitches. All 4 missed the zone. A leadoff walk. Stifler walks the first batter he sees, and now a runner on at first for Colby Turner. And Van Shane talked about emphasizing playing all 9 innings and how they're just going to continue to battle no matter the score, and they certainly put in a 9-inning effort last night. Went down in the third, didn't take the lead until that McDonald go-ahead pinch hit 2-run homer.
And that's one of those quotes that really sticks with me, Cory, when you think about it, because, you ask any player, when they're losing, especially when it's close, of course they're going to battle for all 9 innings. Nobody wants to lose. But what's so crucial is still battling and having that mindset when you're ahead in the game, because no lead is safe, especially in this league. There's no timer in baseball. There is the pitch clock, but there's no game clock. You still have to get every out.
And Shane said how, obviously the team went on that losing streak, but they always viewed themselves as a talented bunch, capable of snapping out of it, and they certainly have lately. That's why they've gotten to from the 5th spot, last in the West, to now the 3rd spot, just 3 points back of first. It's now a 2-1 to Colby Turner. Stifler tries to catch. The upper corner stays high. But you just see the character of the team last night to come back. It was just a 1-run deficit, but the Harbor Hawks were just holding this Gatemen lineup at bay throughout.
Well,
hitters count for Turner. Go ahead.
I was going to say, Cory, how often have we talked about Gatemen being one of the worst teams, if not the worst team across Cape Cod in batting average from the 7th inning on? Caden McDonald had that 2-run home run in the 8th. Levi Clark had a single, 3 runs in that inning. So kind of turning the tide on, some of those statistics that have plagued them throughout the early part of this year.
Colby Turner had to duck out of the way of that one. Back-to-back walks for Stifler.
He's been pretty wild so far. Can take advantage of that. This is the part in the order that the Gatemen really used to score those 5 runs. Cruson and Turner both got out to start off that second, and then it was McDonald with the single. Sheehan walked. Rogers 3-run home run. Now you get those first 2 guys on already with nobody out. Score some more. Why not?
McDonald came in at 303, now 2 homers, 8 RBIs, singled, scored the first run for the Gatemen on that 3-run shot by Drew Rogers. Stifler's first pitch to him bounced and gobbled up by Harrison on the backhand behind home plate.
Just feels like this is a team that's really starting to find its groove. They're 10-13, sure, but 3-game win streak, 4 of the last 5. They win today, sweep the weekend. It just doesn't feel like any of these teams in the West are going to want to play Wareham moving forward.
And it seems like Wareham's getting hot at the right time because a lot of these other Western Division opponents are kind of struggling as of late as we've turned to July. We've talked about Falmouth and Hyannis at the top of the division. McDonald taking there. It's now 2-1 as that one misses outside. Katuitt over Hyannis right now. That's a big one that would have implications if Wareham can win too. Katuitt right there at 20 points as well with the Gatemen. A 2-1 pitch. McDonald, look out! That got him right up on the helmet. Ryan Smythe immediately out of the dugout to check on McDonald.
Didn't look good. Oh, boy. Just hope he's all right.
I mean, man. You could even hear that all the way out here. And Stifler just has no command of the zone right now.
And you know that it's not intentional from Stifler, but he's been wild so far every single at-bat. Not to that degree, but Colby Turner 4-pitch walk, or Chase Cruson 4-pitch walk, Colby Turner 5-pitch walk, and now McDonald hitting the helmet. Thank goodness he's all right.
Gets a nice applause from the Wareham faithful.
He deserves it after that.
Talking things over with Stifler out on the mound.
Now, well, I mean, now, Cory, just shifting back to a baseball perspective, now you have the bases loaded and nobody out. At least score 1 here.
This feels like a complete 360 of how these teams finished the last contest last weekend when the Gatemen allowed 4 runs in the 8th, and that game just completely got out of control. Wareham made 7 errors, and it just seemed like that 8th inning especially was never ending, and it got ugly for the Gatemen. And now here they are tonight, 5-0 ahead of Falmouth. It's early, but they're threatening for more again in the 3rd.
Again, foot on the gas. It's so crucial. Gotta hope that Vance can take advantage here.
Shane at third base tonight with Ramirez at shortstop, and the way Vance has been playing defensively, especially at the shortstop spot. A little bit surprising to see him move over, but he got a really good defensive pairing on the left side of the infield with Ramirez and Shane, it seems like.
I mean, Ramirez was flashing a lot of leather during pregame warm-ups, during batting practice. Keep him there, move Randall, or keep Randall at second. And then you move Shane over to third. That's just a really, really good defensive infield.
1-2 on Shane after the ball missed outside.
And Shane's played third, a little bit. He's played more shortstop primarily, especially with Colby Turner's bat getting hot, shifting him into the hot corner. Landon Stripling as well.
1-2 pitch in the dirt, blocked by Harrison.
A lot of spots where it really feels like you can't go wrong defensively. And if you want to move Ramirez into this lineup, get him some action, you don't want to take the glove of Shane out, so just move him over to the hot corner.
Obviously, Stripling's provided some really good defense at third. He struggled a little bit lately with the bat. Now 2-2, the pitch to Van Shane. That one up and in. Shane able to shrug out of the way. Full count pitch upcoming with Drew Rogers waiting on deck.
Nowhere to put him either. Bases loaded, 3-2. This is a big pitch for Stifler here. Shane's got to make a good read. Keep his swing within himself if he chooses so.
Stifler deals a high fly ball into center. Morales jogging back, makes the catch. Cruson tagging from third. Turner up to third as the throw gets away. It sails into the Gatemen dugout. It looked like Wareham was only going to score one on that play, but after a wild throw back in from the infield, give the Gatemen another.
So now Cruson comes in to score. Turner came in to score. McDonald now over to third on the hit by pitch. So that's still just the first out and a runner 90 feet away for Rogers. He has a chance to do the same thing, just hit anything into the outfield. And it may not be the most conventional way, but you can still clear the bases. Good at bat from Cheyenne. Did his job. Got rewarded with some help from the Falmouth defense.
One out now on the sac fly, plus the air. Runner on at third for Rogers. Takes beneath the zone for a ball. They were trying to get Turner, who was also advancing on the sac fly. Cruson obviously was going to score no matter what with his speed and the depth of that fly ball.
Just a bad throw from Newstrom.
Charged with an error. Rogers taking again. Stifler misses low, and it's 2-0.
And it was the correct decision from Morales in center field to throw it to Newstrom. And he cut it off pretty cleanly, but then Turner pretty solidly beat that throw.
The 2-0 pitch to Rogers. Breaking ball. That misses outside, and it's 3-0.
I mean, he was nearly at the bag sliding in when Newstrom elected to throw that over to third. You just have to imagine that Carl Schmidt at the bag just didn't expect that to come in.
That one sails up and in. 4 pitches, 4 balls to Drew Rogers. The third walk issued by Stifler this inning.
And here comes
puts runners on the corners.
Here comes Saltalamacchia.
We have not even played 3 innings tonight here in Wareham. But it looks like Falmouth is going to turn to the bullpen yet again. They will have gotten to their third pitcher already. The Gatemen continue to click offensively. Helped by the wildness of Stifler. They've played it another 2 here in the third, looking for more. Runners on base on the corners when we return with the pitching change on Cape League TV.
Wareham-based AD Makepeace Company, founded in 1854, is North America's largest cranberry grower and recognized leader in environmentally responsible real estate development and land stewardship. For 171 years, AD Makepeace Company has supported community events and organizations like your Wareham Gatemen. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
For a good piece of glass, call Abby. Located at 3 Tyler Ave in East Wareham. Call Abbey Glass and Locks about getting a free quote for your windows, doors, locks, and other glass needs.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we know there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. Now that's how we all win. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Jack Berg takes over on the mound for the Commodores. First and third situation he inherits, and obviously an exciting day for us, Sundays in center field. But that's not the only thing exciting happening around the world of baseball. The Major League Draft taking place the first few rounds tonight.
Yeah, certainly, and some surprises early on, just, keeping updated with what's going on in Major League Baseball. Eli Willits, the #1 overall pick. There was a lot of talk. Was it going to be Ethan Holiday? Was it going to be Cade Anderson? Well, it's neither. Eli Willits, the most recent mock draft, projected to go 4th overall, jumps up to 1st. Big spot for him. So he heads over into Washington.
Once again, it is Jack Berg, the southpaw, taking over on the mound. Inherits 2 runners, facing Ramirez, doubled in his first at-bat tonight, and takes high on a fastball for ball 1. Berg out of Arizona replaces Stifler. 2 walks, a hit by pitch, a sac fly, and another walk. The line for Stifler still open with 2 runners on. Both are his responsibility. Want to know the count on Chris Ramirez. Cal Poly infielder, half-hearted swing, and another situation where it looks like it caught the knob of the bat.
This is a big spot for Wareham to try and take advantage. Runners on the corners, 1-1 for Ramirez. Just put something in the outfield, score a run, and extend this lead to 8.
Infielders are back for the Commodores. Only 1 out in the inning. Double play situation as that one misses outside. Berg comes in with a 4.50 ERA. 2 games, 1 of them was a start. 4 total innings. He's allowed 2 earned runs.
He's got 5 walks as well in those 4 innings. Certainly can be prone to being wild at times.
Pitch to Ramirez. Fastball sails high. And the control issues have persisted. New pitcher. Berg has struggled to find the zone now. Another one coming to Ramirez. Up and in. New pitcher, a similar result for the Commodores. A 5-pitch walk for Chris Ramirez to load the bases.
And now you just turn it back over to the top of the order. There's really not a good spot here to attack for Falmouth. Going into the game, okay, well, you know what, maybe it would be Van Shea, and Drew Rogers didn't hit very well in Brewster. But those guys, Rogers has a 3-run home run. Sheehan has a walk and a sacrifice fly. Ramirez in his starting debut, a double and a walk. So now what happens? You turn it over to the top of the order. Braden Randall has an RBI double, came in hitting over 300. Offensively, just such a strong Gatemen team. The defense has been coming around. The pitching has been coming around.
As that one is smoked into center field, it's down for a base hit. 1 run scores, another right behind. Braden Randall delivers again. The Gatemen continue to add on. Another for the Gatemen on an RBI single by Braden Randall. It's 8-0 Wareham. McDonald in to score. All the other runners advance. Rogers to third, Ramirez to second, and Randall the RBI single.
Great hit for Randall, not trying to do too much, just kept that swing within himself. Just a beautiful hit. Drilled it over just shallow enough into center field that Morales wasn't going to have a chance to feel that you can play station to station when everyone's hitting so well.
0-1 as Levi Clark pops it foul. The Gatemen just pouring it on right now. 8-0, 5 runs in the second, 3 so far in the third. 8 runs, 6 hits. Already trying to put this game out of reach, and Cooper Consiglio, the beneficiary of yet again another offensive outburst from Wareham. 0-1 to Levi Clark, swing and a miss.
Can Cooper Consiglio just pitch every single game if it means that the offense is going to do this? I mean, goodness gracious. But now if you're Clark, there's still just one out here in the third. You have a chance to really put this game on ice.
An 0-2 pitch to him way high on a fastball.
Last Sunday, it was Mercy Rule territory. They were just one out away, 10-run lead after 7 innings. They were so close. Jack Natilli hit a grand slam, put a nix in those plans. It's early, but certainly think about that as a possibility. Just be happy if the Gatemen can keep on scoring. There's still a lot of time left. Falmouth scored 11 runs the last time these two teams met. Of course, that was in large part because the Gatemen committed 7 errors. Even still. No signs of slowing down yet today.
Now a 2-2 pitch. Smoked in the air to left field. It's going to be right at Salinas, who makes the grab. Coming in to score on the sac flies, Drew Rogers. Productive at bat from Levi Clark, allowed out, but the Gatemen get another, make it 9-0.
Not going to complain about that. Beautiful hit from Clark. He smoked that off the bat, just happened to be right at Salinas in left field. Not a whole lot you can do. Has to be frustrating a little bit for Clark, but now it's a 9-run lead.
It's Hunter Carnes, who is 0 for 2. First and second, 2 away. Berg into the game, lefty on the mound. Inherited some of these runners from Stifler, as that first Mitch is up and away. And what a game we've been treated to out here, huh,
man.
Josh?
This has been great.
Plenty of fans here at Spillane Field. Sundays in center, first edition of it.
We've only got one other chance to do that. 2 Sundays from now, back home against Katuitt.
And if it means they score this many runs, why not?
Can we please? We'll talk to our producers. Not Katuitt, Hyannis rather, but still.
Now 2-1 on Hunter Carnes.
What if we just sat in center field for every game?
It definitely is a bit of an adjustment to get used to the vantage point, but again, if it means
like it.
It's the production from this Wareham lineup, why not? 1-2 pitch, sails high, and Hunter Carnes has worked the count even to 2-2. The Gatemen just continued to play tremendous baseball against divisional opponents. Started with a 5-4 win over Bourne Friday, 3-2 win last night against Hyannis. Up by 9 here tonight against Falmouth. 2-2 pitch, fouled straight back. They'll do it again. And obviously the fact that Wareham's been playing this well, some close games against Bourne and Hyannis, obviously both one-run contests, but they're playing tremendous baseball against the opponents where it really matters in their own division. Another 2-2 pitch. Clark dances out of the way of that one. Payoff pitch coming. Runners get a head start.
Heading into the weekend, these were the top 3 teams ahead of the Gatemen in the West. It was Bourne, Falmouth, Hyannis, 3-2-1. You beat 3 on Friday, you beat 1 yesterday. Now a chance to beat Falmouth today.
Carnes takes low, ball 4 as it got away from Harrison. Won't matter anyways as it's ball 4. Another walk for the Gatemen here in the third, and they've officially batted around with Cruson coming back to the plate.
And when you think about it, Cory, you know, we mentioned some of the scores around the league. Katuitt up 5-0 on Hyannis. If that score holds, the Harbor Hawks dip below 500. If the Gatemen hold on to beat Falmouth, they dip below 500 as well, and the Gatemen pull within 1 point of the top 2 teams. Katuitt, not that far behind either. That would be their 10th win, but the 2 ties would have them tied points-wise with Wareham. Everybody is just so bunched up together. It's incredible how close this West Division is. 4 of these teams make the playoffs. At the start of the week, we were kind of thinking, okay, well, let's just hope not to be that odd one out. Now with how things are trending, the Gatemen keep producing like this. Maybe they can be that 1 or 2 seed from that West Division.
2-0 the count on Cruson, and especially the past now 3 games, obviously it's just almost through 3 innings here tonight, but the way that the pitching and the offense have combined together over this 3-game stretch. Berg fires in a strike at the top of the zone, and the Gatemen have been able to put those components together. Even against Katuitt, they allowed 9 runs, Brewster 5, but then Orleans-born Hyannis, games in which the defense has responded, the offense, the pitching, it's all been there. A 2-1 pitch to Chase Cruson. Dances outside, 3-1, nowhere to put the Gatemen center fielder with Colby Turner on deck. Cruson began this inning with a walk, scored the first run of the inning. Now batting for the second time here in the last of the third. A 3-1 pitch coming. Gets the green light, hard hit on the ground, gobbled up there by Osterhaus. Throw on to first in time for out number 3. The Gatemen leave them loaded, but they plate 4 in the inning. It is all Wareham here at Spillane Field. 9-0 through 3 innings of play. Stay tuned to Cape League TV.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
A+ repairs smartphones, tablets, game consoles, and computers. Get it done right the first time.
Cape Cod Central Railroad is proud to sponsor the Wareham Gatemen for the 2nd year in a row. Experience the scenic beauty of Cape Cod like never before. Journey through picturesque marshes, cranberry bogs, and dunes on our historic rail line. Whether you're savoring a 5-course gourmet dinner, enjoying a Sunday brunch with a live jazz band, or bringing the family on a narrated excursion, there's a ride for everyone. Departing from Hyannis and Buzzards Bay, visit capetrain.com to book your ride today.
In this battle of Western Division opponents, it's been all Wareham, 9-0 through the first 3 innings. If you're a Gatemen fan, happy with the way this team is produced. As we look across the Cape, though, we've talked about a little bit some scores that obviously impact the standings as well, notably that Katuitt Hyannis game, Bourne and Harwich, West versus East, that one's tied. Brewster Orleans, a close contest, and Chatham has the edge against YD.
Yeah, just looking at that Bourne-Harwich game, that's the other game that can impact some West Division standings. Those 2 teams knotted up at 1. Then you look over in the East, Brewster, slim lead over Orleans. Chatham with a large lead over YD with 2 innings to go. Everybody can beat anybody no matter what night it is. And that's kind of the beauty of Cape Cod, right, Cory? I mean, it's not over until the final week, final inning, final out.
Exactly right, as Ken Schmidt digs into the box for the second time. Flew out to left. Back in the first, Consiglio back to work. His second straight start with the 9-run cushion. Had it through the first 2 innings last time.
I mean, this is just...
Not through 3 innings, but...
This is just a great thing to have as a pitcher. And he's gotten himself out of some trouble. Picked off a few runners. He's throwing really well right now.
Hard hit into right field. Turner came in, now a few steps back. A bullet off the bat of Schmidt, but right at Colby Turner. Had him played perfectly, 1 away.
Good read from Turner. I mean, that ball was rocketed off of Schmidt's bat. And that's the one thing of, having this vantage point, Cory, is we can see that ball just coming at us or just at the outfield so fast. Really gives us an outfielder's perspective of how they need to make reads on these balls. How they need to make reads on these balls. They have to do it quick. They have to make up their mind. It was a good jump from Turner.
Bear Harrison singled in the second. Pokes that one out of play. And to your point of the standings and the delta, the change in those standings, I mean, you think even in the East, obviously it's not the conference the Gatemen are in. Brewster started 6-0, and then, YD won 9 straight games?
9 straight.
And now YD's back out of that first-place spot. Mile-high pop-up in foul territory. McDonald shifting and making the catch as the wind had that one. Too quickly retired here in the 4th for Consiglio. But despite those hot streaks, obviously YD and Brewster have kind of flip-flopped but it's hard to believe. We thought YD was going to run away as the best team across the Cape. They're not even first in their own division right now.
Not anymore. 13-8-2, in danger of losing again tonight. That's the thing. Gatemen lost 5 straight to start off this month. Now a chance to win 5 of 6 following.
Osterhaus shows bunt, pops it way up in the air, over the netting and out of play.
So much can change, and, you know, that's the beauty of baseball, right, is that, you know, there's another game the next day. You lose a game, you got to play again tomorrow. You win a game, you got to play again tomorrow. So you can't, you know, ride the highs too high or get down on yourself so much. But at the same time, it's a short season. When you compare it to, you know, a collegiate season, it's shorter than that. A lot of these guys came in after playing 60, 65 game seasons for their NCAA squads. Now come in and play 40 here over the course of, 2.5 months.
Osterhaus taking at the knees. It misses inside.
You have to be able to balance knowing that this is a short season and taking advantage of every game, but also being able to wipe games out of your memory when they don't go your way, or be able to, you know, just kind of get back to a level head when they do.
Now 2-2, no one on, 2 away on the lefty Osterhaus. Consiglio's been sharp, the long wait over in a couple of innings, but has gotten back into the groove of things both times. Staying alive is Osterhaus. And when you look at it, I mean, if you're Falmouth and Hyannis, you're probably kicking yourself that you kind of struggled a little bit also to begin the month. Maybe not to the extent the Gatemen did, but just treading water. There was not enough distance created, separation between these teams, top and bottom of the standings. Consiglio into the line, 2-2 again. Hit on a line, shading over and making a nice catch to end the inning is Ramirez. 3 up, 3 down. Consiglio's been staked to a nice lead, but he's responded on the mound now through 4 scoreless innings. Gatemen back to the plate when we return in the bottom half of the 4th.
The Insurance has been servicing Wareham and the surrounding areas since 1980. Call Legacy Insurance for all your insurance needs at 508-295-1315. Legacy Insurance, your hometown agency.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings. They're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
When it comes to protecting your home, car, or business, trust the team that's been covering our community for generations. For personalized coverage and service that you can count on, the choice is easy. It's Morse, of course. Visit morseins.com today.
Jack Berg back to work in the bottom half of the 4th, came in relief in the bottom half of the 3rd. This Falmouth Commodores pitching staff has faced an onslaught for Wareham. 9 runs. It's been all Gatemen so far. They've done it on 6 hits. Some wild pitches, a lot of walks, obviously, by Stifler, and then a few by Berg, but it's been all Gatemen so far tonight.
19 batters over the last 2 innings helped produce those 9 runs. The Gatemen are out to an early lead. Just something about this week. Just so many runs getting put up early on in contests. 9 against Katuitt over the first 2 innings a week ago today. 7 runs in the first inning against Orleans. This team is just scoring runs early and capitalizing, holding those leads. And some of the times that they don't, they fought back. The team just keeps finding new ways to win day in and day out.
Colby Turner walked, scored a run in the 3rd. Against Berg, pops that one straight up in the air. Commodores players give it a look over towards the dugout. It's going to be the first baseman Schmidt making the call and the catch for out number 1. And obviously this game looks a lot different as Caden McDonald steps up to the plate than the past 2 contests, obviously in terms of runs scored and how close the past 2 games were for the Gatemen. But the fact that they are playing so well in divisional play, especially in the back half of the season, it seems like a really good sign. As Wareham, obviously they're in a playoff spot right now, but they want to climb to the top of the division if they can.
It just feels like something clicked. Something changed from last Saturday when these two teams played at Gov Fuller Field in Falmouth, and the Commodores came away with an 11-4 win thanks to 7 errors, right? 7 errors. We talked to Ryan Smythe after the game, and we asked him, hey, is this just one that you got to kind of wipe out of your memory, just goldfish it, get back to trying to win tomorrow? And he was like, no. I want these guys to remember how embarrassing it was to make 7 errors in a Cape Cod Baseball League game. That's what he said. And what's happened since then? 16-9 win over Katuitt. You drop one against Brewster, sure. It's an emotional matchup. 2 Keystone head coaches on each side. 10-2 win over Orleans, 5-4 win over Bourne, 3-2 win over Hyannis. It's just been a great week. Something changed with this team for the better.
And that loss against this Commodores team was just sort of the exclamation point of this losing streak. On the ground, gobbled up by Newstrom. The throw across the diamond is on target. McDonald set down, 2 up, 2 down to begin the bottom half of the 4th. It just kind of seemed like, obviously, it was on the team to bounce back and respond to Ryan Smythe's message. But the Gatemen had lost the first 4 games before that loss to Falmouth. But again, maybe the fashion they did it, in embarrassing fashion, really, it woke this team up.
It just kind of felt like it was the straw that broke the camel's back at that point. Like all of those losses had been piling, and it had happened in a couple different ways, right? You know, we've talked about, 9 runs early on in 3 innings today against Falmouth, did the same thing against Katuitt. But when Wareham went to Chatham to start off the month of July, they allowed 9 runs over 3 innings. Then the next day, Harwich up by 2 runs in the bottom of the 9th. You give up the runs, you lose in extras. Then a couple frustrating losses to Bourne, albeit not entirely the Gatemen's fault. Mother Nature played a factor in that. It was a rough week, and then you cap it off with 7 errors against Falmouth, a team that you had already beaten this season. It can't feel good.
Give them credit, they bounced back.
Yeah, Smythe said it was embarrassing. They wanted the guys to remember. They have, and they've shown that that is not who this team is anymore. It's incredible how much can change over an 8-day span.
Van Shane, count 1 and 2 on him with 2 outs, no one on. Had a sac fly his last at-bat. Berg is quickly retired. Turner and then McDonald. And now the lefty deals on 1-2. Just misses low. And it seems pretty obvious to say you want to play your best against divisional opponents, but as Ryan Smythe said after the win last night, the games just mean a little more when you're playing kind of your division rivals. Now a 2-2 to Van Shane. Way high. Count goes full with your Rogers on deck.
And it really has to. It has to mean more when you're battling teams that you play an extra game against every season compared to the East. These are the teams you're going to have to play and beat to make it to the CCBL championship. You have to win these games.
Shane chops that one to the left side. Over to cut it off is Schmidt. Wild throw to first. It gets away. Shane makes the turn. He's headed to second. Stops there. The inning continues. An errant throw could have ended things. Instead, the Gatemen get a 2-out runner in scoring position.
Just feels like everything that can go wrong for Falmouth is going wrong.
Again, what a 360.
Yeah, I mean, seriously. Those are 2 pretty bad errors over these last 2 innings. Both have happened when Van Shane is up to bat. First, he has the fly out to center field, and then Chris Newstrom, an errant throw, goes into the Gateman dugout. Colby Turner scores. Everybody advances a base, and now that to get out of the inning. So, okay, it's the bottom of the lineup. Well, who comes up? Drew Rogers, who already has a 3-run home run today.
They scored as a single and an E5, allowing Shane to advance to second. So now Rogers, who is homered and walked in his Gateman debut, now against the lefty Berg. Big swing and a miss, 0-1. Now 2 errors on the afternoon for Falmouth. Newstrom had that one back in the 3rd, which he threw the ball on the sac fly by Shane into the Gateman dugout, allowing another run to score. Gatemen perhaps a hit away from making it double digits. 9-0 here, bottom of the fourth. And quickly 0-2 on the Gatemen backstop. Wareham hoping to make it 4 straight wins, 3 straight wins against West Division opponents. Already up by 9. Here's we play in the last of the fourth. Pitch to Rogers. Just got a piece of it, and they'll do it again. No runs, 3 hits, 2 errors for Falmouth. 9 runs, 7 hits, 1 error for the Gatemen. Both sides doing their part. Consiglio's been strong on the mound when he's been out there. Now it's another 0-2 pitch. Berg to Rogers. Another foul ball. And once again, they'll do it over on 0-2. Rogers has raised his summer average up to 200 after the home run, but hitting 1,000 with the Gatemen after that second inning home run. Fifth pitch of the at-bat on the way. On the inside corner, called strike 3. Rogers down looking to end the fourth. Gatemen get a runner in the scoring position. Can't bring him home. Good news for the Gatemen. They're still up by 9. We played 4 innings here at Spillane Field. We're back with the top of the fifth up next on Cape League TV.
If you need to dig, lift, move, grade, clear, or cut, pump, weld, clean, light, and just about anything else, dial up the rental source for the newest and the most reliable equipment in New England. Staffed with equipment and construction experts. Milton Rents, your local source.
As the sponsor of tonight's game, PCT Federal Credit Union is proud to root for the home team. We're thrilled to offer great rates on auto loans, home equity lines of credit, and so much more. Visit us on Cranberry Highway in West Wareham.
Reed Custom Soils, a subsidiary of the AD Makepeace Company, is New England's most experienced precision soil blender. Reed is the leading provider of the lightweight planting soil for green roof installations, stabilized stone dust for nature paths and pedestrian walkways, bioretention rain garden soils, and specialized soils for athletic fields, including your newly renovated Spillane Field. To learn more, visit reedcustomsoils.com.
Shameless Plug Electric, hitting home runs on every job. Wareham's top choice for electrical work. Call Shameless Plug Electric. Things are far from over here at Spillane Field, but it's certainly going the way of the Gatemen. 9-0 through 4 innings. The offense getting the job done once again. 7 hits compared to just 3 from Falmouth. You can't forget about Cooper Consiglio, though. 4 shutout innings. Obviously, it's easy when your offense gets your easier when your offense get 9 runs, but he dealt on the mound.
Easy to say that this has been his best start of the season. Now you go from a lefty to a righty, bring in O'Connor, somebody that struggled so far in his first appearance, came against Falmouth. But now you've got a cushion, and you've got a chance to win this game. Just get it done, no matter how pretty or ugly it is.
O'Connor's second game of the summer, as Josh said, pitched against Falmouth last Saturday in an inning for the Gatemen where that's where it kind of really started to get ugly. 1 inning, 3 earned runs, 4 total runs, but the defense behind him just wasn't making plays. Obviously a much different game scoreline here tonight, but hoping his defense can back him up.
Yeah, and only 1 unearned run was charged against him. At the same time, from our vantage point and from Ryan Smythe's vantage point, there were probably a few more errors that, didn't go charged as much.
Zuckerman the first to greet him out of the bullpen. His first pitch, a fastball, misses outside. O'Connor out of Georgetown did pitch for the Gatemen last summer. 6 games in total, 4 games started, the 6.50 ERA. Again, outing number 2 for him this summer. Laced into right field, past the outstretched glove of McDonald. Turner over to cut it off. Stumbling around first was Zuckerman. Now caught in between. Throw behind him at first. Not in time. Zuckerman was thinking 2 all the way, but the stumble negated that attempt and just barely got back to first in time.
Great relay. Turner to Randall to McDonald. Almost got him at first. Just snuck in safely. That would have been an electrifying first out. Let's get another look at this. Just the swim move. Said he got out of the way.
Yeah, McDonald had to work his way back to the bag.
The throw beat him.
Yeah. Leadoff single for Zuckerman. Pitch in the dirt, gets behind Rogers, and Zuckerman now gets to second, albeit a pitch later. But he's in scoring position with no one out in the top of the 5th. For Tristan Salinas, who struck out in the 2nd. Salinas, Wilson, Newstrom, 7, 8, 9 to face O'Connor. The second arm used by Wareham. Falmouth has already used 3 pitchers, combined to let in 9 Gatemen runs. Called strike 1 on Salinas. And recently, obviously, the pitching had been a bit of a struggle for the Gatemen in the month of July, but as we've talked about, listen, the offense is going to get a lot of the focus, but the pitching has done phenomenally well, especially the past 2 nights as that one's fouled straight back.
This weekend it's been great.
The 5-4 win over Bourne, and then just the 1 run against Hyannis, one of the top offensive teams across the Cape, and so now the ERA for the Gatemen's down to 4.52. They were sitting at 10th for most of July. It's now down to 8th. Right behind Falmouth, who came in at 4.51. That's 7th. It's a 1-2 count on Salinas. With Zuckerman dancing around at second, O'Connor's pitch. Flied in the air to right field. Turner barely has to move. Settles under it, makes the catch. Zuckerman tagging the throw down to third on a line. Not in time. Shane applied the tag after a beautiful one-hopper by Colby Turner.
That was a laser throw.
Zuckerman almost got thrown out at 2 separate bags this inning.
He's got a guardian angel watching over him to slide into 2 bases safely. That one was really close. Let's take another look at this. I mean, just a beautiful throw from Turner. He just got his hand in there. That's a good call.
So now the Commodores an opportunity to scratch across their first run of the game. Ashton Wilson singled back in the 2nd. Infield back for the Gatemen. Righty-on-righty matchup. With Zuckerman on at 3rd. First pitch, fly ball into center. Cruson is right there, makes the catch. Zuckerman tagging. He'll come in to score. The Commodores get on the board. It's now 9-1.
Well, you knew what was going to come eventually, Cory. It's tough to keep any Cape League team shut out throughout the entire course of a game. You don't want to give up a run in that spot, but thankfully, you've still got a pretty big cushion.
Pretty good, though, when the team you're facing, the #1 team coming in tied for the lead across the Cape League in runs, and you've only allowed 1, almost through 5 innings. Gatemen will take that.
Take a win any way you can.
So now it's Chris Newstrom, the shortstop, who struck out looking in the 3rd, facing O'Connor for the first time. Taking a called strike 1. Gatemen looking for their 3rd straight divisional win, 4th overall. It'll be their 3rd straight against 3 different divisional opponents. Bourne, then Hyannis, now Falmouth tonight. No one on, 2 away, and a 0-1 pitch, sails high. It's an off day tomorrow for Wareham before they travel to Brewster to face the Eastern Division leader, Whitecaps. One pitch to the shortstop, Newstrom. Taking up in the zone, 2-1. O'Connor, the first arm used out of the bullpen for the Gatemen tonight after a tight contest pitcher's duel last night against Hyannis. Fouled straight back, and it's 2-2. Butler, a great job getting the start for the Gatemen. From then on, Hudson Rowan did a great job to keep the deficit at 1. Shea Went pitched a scoreless inning. And from there, Ty Stark earning the save to preserve a 3-2 Wareham win. No one on, 2 away, a run in, and a 2-2 pitch coming from Griffin O'Connor. Topped on the ground, charging is Ramirez. Gets rid of it quickly, on target to McDonald for out number 3. The Commodores get on the board. The base hit by Zuckerman got to third, and then the sac fly by Wilson. The Commodores on the board, but through 4.5, it's still all Wareham, 9-1 here at Spillane Field. Stay tuned to Cape League TV.
Turf Specialties has set the standard for high-quality natural grass athletic field construction. As a full-service athletic field construction company, we specialize in design, build, and renovation of native soil, modified soil, and sand-based athletic fields. Our team will provide you with superior quality, expert guidance, and continuing support long after the completion of our project. We are proud to have built the infield for the Wareham Gatemen field. Go Gatemen.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player. You can make any bat feel lighter by adding a velo puck knob. Instead of having to go get a whole entirely new bat, you can simply add the puck to it. Players can use this with any bat. It's basically going to shift the weight of the bat a little bit more towards the hands. Players are able to hit the ball a lot harder just by simply adding the puck on.
There's one of our videographers, Jake. He's gotten to watch a pretty good game. 8-run Gatemen lead as we move ahead to the bottom of the 5th. Welcome back to Sundays in Center. As we mentioned earlier, though, not the only exciting action going on across the world of baseball. And for more on tonight's MLB draft, we'll send it over to our sideline reporter, Rayna Maggelet.
Yeah, Cory, you're totally right. A lot of us baseball fans are watching 2 games. If it's not the Gatemen game, then definitely the draft. Speaking of the draft, 3 former and current CCPL players are drafted in the first round. First, we got Liam Doyle, 5th-round pick. He's a pitcher, left-handed pitcher from Tennessee. Second, we got Ava Arquette, who's a pick 7. And then 13 is Gavin Keelan. Really, our guys are pretty consistent in the first round. We already have 3. So we're looking forward to see if any Gatemen get drafted in any of these rounds, as some of them have left. So back to you guys.
Rayna, thank you. Already good to hear that there have been multiple Cape League guys selected, but obviously,
That's
Josh,
good to represent.
We're going to be excited when that first Gateman alum gets their name announced, either from last year's team or this year's team.
There's a lot of time left. There is 20 rounds. Shouldn't have to wait that long, though.
Ramirez begins the last half of the 5th. A double and a walk. Devin Sheeran, the righty, takes over on the mound, replacing Jack Berg. 4th arm used by the Commodores, 3rd out of the bullpen. And a 2-0 pitch. Ramirez takes on the inside corner for a called strike 1. Sheeran, the righty, out of LSU, 6'5", 245 pounds. His 2-1 pitch. Skied in the air, slicing down the right field line. Schmidt gives it a look, a leap, but it's out of his reach over the fence and out of play. 6 games, 1 start for Sheeran. 9 1/3 innings pitched, 6 earned runs, a 5.79 ERA for the righty.
He's got 11 runs allowed, just 6 earned, so when he's in, his defense is certainly not doing him any favors. That sounds pretty familiar to the last time these 2 teams played, just on the other side.
And the Commodores have only made 2 errors tonight, but they've been somewhat costly. The one by Shane, the one to allow Shane to get on second didn't come back to bite them. Skied in the air, right around home plate, making the call, and the catch is Harrison out from his crouch to make the grab. Ramirez set down to begin the last of the 5th. But that throwing error by Newstrom allowed another run to score. So obviously a couple of costly plays by the Commodores to help the Gatemen get that 8-run cushion where it stands right now. Back to the top of the order, and Braden Randall. Couple of hits for the leadoff man, a double and a single.
You're never going to complain about an 8-run lead, especially when you're up 9-1. It's just the 5th inning. There's a lot of time left. Just keep scoring if you can.
Randall attacks that one high and deep to right. Field shading over, and making a nice grab is Wilson. Braden Randall has been hitting the screws off the ball.
He has pieced 3 straight, Corey. That one just happened to go right to Wilson. Had that RBI double in the 2nd inning, then an RBI single in the 3rd. That one landed just short of Morales in center field. But man, I mean, he's having a really nice game.
And he hit 5th, as we talked about a couple nights ago, with Chris McHugh getting back-to-back starts in that leadoff spot. But Randall back in that leadoff spot the past couple of nights. And he really is just such a tone setter, as you talked about, for this Gateman team. But 1 through 3, it's just been so consistent, and why not when they're all hitting over 300? The OPS is sky high. Randall, Clark, Carnes, so productive for Wareham this summer.
Yeah, 5 of the top 6 bats for the Gatemen this summer are all hitting over 300 entering today. And the only one that's not, well, Colby Turner. Last Sunday, 2 home runs, 7 RBIs.
And he's an all-star.
He is an all-star, him and Carnes.
And now behind them, Chase Cruson, as we mentioned earlier, making his season debut in the cleanup spot. But the way he's been hitting, why not, at 302. Average up over 300 for Cruson. It's 2-1 on Levi Clark. Big swing and a miss, 2-2.
He's got a couple multi-hit games under his belt so far this month as well.
And that's the thing Ryan Smythe has talked about, making sure that this offense can string together strong performances and not have a game where they really go dormant throughout the contest 1 through 9. Sheeran's pitch. Clark blasts that one in the air to right field. Wilson jogs in, settles under it, and makes the catch for out number 3. 3 up, 3 down for the Gatemen in the bottom half of the 5th. Not to fear, though, it's still an 8-run game. Josh Richardson has you the rest of the way on Cape League TV. Stay tuned to Sundays in Center.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
A+ repairs smartphones, tablets, game consoles, and computers. Get it done right the first time.
Cape Cod Central Railroad is proud to sponsor the Wareham Gatemen for the 2nd year in a row. Experience the scenic beauty of Cape Cod like never before. Journey through picturesque marshes, cranberry bogs, and dunes on our historic rail line. Whether you're savoring a 5-course gourmet dinner, enjoying a Sunday brunch with a live jazz band, or bringing the family on a narrated excursion, there's a ride for everyone. Departing from Hyannis and Buzzards Bay, visit capetrain.com to book your ride today.
We're back here over in left center from Spillane Field. 9-1 advantage for the Gatemen over Falmouth. Alongside Cory Miller, I'm Josh Richardson. Cory, you took your glove back now.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to rock and roll. I mean, this is my time to shine. I caught a lot of balls in this glove. Why not another here tonight? You know what I'm saying?
How long did you play baseball for again?
My parents who are listening probably know this better than I do. I probably started T-ball initially when I was probably around 5.
If something gets hit as a home run and you don't catch it, I'm going to be embarrassing. I'm going to be really disappointed in you.
I will be even more disappointed in myself.
Griffin O'Connor back on the mound, his 2nd inning of action here against the Commodores. 9-1 advantage for Falmouth. His first pitch, fastball misses downstairs.
What I'm concerned about is that if a ball comes in our general vicinity, I'm going to immediately react and try and catch it and yank the headset out of the audio mixer.
Oh, don't do that.
That would be really bad.
Well, don't.
I trip and fall in the bleachers. That'd be bad, too.
High fly ball deep into right center field. Turner drifts back and he makes the grab. There's a lot worse things than that, Cory. I mean, I'm the one that's calling the play-by-play at this point. Just don't hit mine out of the mixer.
that'd be really bad. We both were off. If we were both
Hey, we have video. It's fine.
Yeah.
Everybody can see. Do you think you could snag one, especially if it's hit hard? I know you caught one on the Monster. You caught one on the Monster at Fenway Day.
We're going to keep saying that
this season
because I did. Henry Ford, he could get his name called tonight.
He could. First 3 rounds of the MLB draft tonight. First round started about an hour and 45 minutes ago. Following 17 tomorrow. 1-0, big swing and a miss. Or foul off, rather. 1-1.
No, my experience with fly balls hitting my direction here has not been that great. Last week, Nate Wallenhopt, our feature writer, and our producer, Chuck Luarasi, were walking down the right field line during batting practice. All 3 of us nearly got taken out with the foul ball.
That would have been terrible.
That would have been really bad.
We wouldn't have had a broadcast. Ground ball, Cheyenne tried to dive at it. And a good job from Ramirez to stop it from drifting into left field. And either way, a 1-out single for Carl Schmidt here in the 6th.
I remember my days right over at the hot corner with this glove, obviously.
Oh, was that where you played?
Yeah,
third base?
Third and first. First base, I had a bit bigger glove. That's all the way back at home. But this was my third baseman's mitt, my Rawlings Premium Series.
Good shout-out on that.
Whatever that means. You saw the range from Ramirez right there, though. The easy speed just to knock that ball down. Obviously didn't have a play at first, but we talked about it a little bit. The defense, I think, the Gatemen fans can get used to from him.
He's just so agile. He moves very quickly, both left and right. Fastball misses downstairs to Ken Schmidt. Schmidt's got 2 flyouts, 1 to left, 1 to right. Third at bat here in the 6th. Falmouth down by a comfortable 9 runs, or 8 runs rather. 9-1 advantage for the Gatemen. O'Connor kicks and fires, misses downstairs.
You know, obviously the offense is going to get the attention, 9 runs, rightfully so, what they did in the second and third innings, but it might be even more impressive that as of now you've allowed just the 1 run because coming into this game, the Commodores were really an offensive team. Yeah, they've had some nice games on the mound, but top team, tied for the top in runs scored coming into this game. The ERA is bottom half of the league.
Yeah, 116 runs through 23 games up to this point. Certainly an offensive-minded team that's towards the bottom in the league in team ERA. Still a spot ahead of the Gatemen as it stands right now, 7 versus 8. Here's the 2-1. Fastball misses.
And if this score holds up, looks like these 2 teams will flip-flop in terms of their spots and the rankings and ERA. Gatemen just 4.52 compared with 4.51 for Falmouth. But again, the Gatemen the past 2 games have really, they've gone from the last place spot ERA and they've been building and building. The pitching's come back.
3-1, skips in the dirt. Rogers a block and a 5-pitch walk for Ken Schmidt. And both Schmidt's on for Bear Harrison, the cleanup hitter.
Righty getting loose in the bullpen for the Gatemen. Could be interesting because O'Connor, obviously, it's just his second summer appearance, so he's in a spot where you're still probably trying to build him up and not overuse him all at once, but a guy who started a bunch of games last summer, so the ability to go multiple innings is there. It's obviously dependent upon how effective he is and how long his leash is to begin with, giving his workload schedule.
That's Patrick Galley warming up in the Gatemen bullpen, supporting a new number tonight, number 9. Seen him in some high leverage, low leverage spots for this team. Harrison goes around.
Galley's a guy hoping to hear his name called at some point.
Oh, absolutely.
During the MLB draft.
Seen a lot of these guys from the Gatemen that are draft eligible. Gotten released from the team as of now. Ty Daly, one of them, hoping to hear his name called in the early portion of the draft. Caleb Appleby. And, you know, if some of these guys get drafted, maybe they elected, they want to go back to college for another year, or they don't get drafted, might see them back here at Spillane Field playing some more games for Wareham this summer.
The Gatemen would certainly take that in the likes of Daly and Appleby, wouldn't they? And that's the thing, because these guys, they've talked things over with their representatives and their advisors and their families, and they have kind of a set idea where they want to go, the bonus they're hoping to get. So a lot of things at play.
It's a complicated process.
It is.
It really is. Balk called on O'Connor, so both runners advance. Second and third, one out here in the sixth.
And so it's a situation where obviously if they're not picked where they want to be picked, not the round's not high enough.
It's so much different than the NFL and NBA drafts.
Yeah.
When you think about how the other two major sports get run. It's so different. 2-1, skied into right field, hugging the line. Turner drifts over. It bounces in foul territory, and the runners will head back.
And that's kind of, I think, a large reason why this league and all these collegiate summer leagues, but especially one of the prestige of the Cape Cod League, so important is you really get a chance for these guys over 20 rounds, but there's so many players who have that opportunity to get drafted, so the opportunity to stand out against the other top college prospects in the country can be really meaningful and move you up on a lot of draft boards.
Just talking to, some players and scouts, representatives. Cape League kind of compared to what would be, low A ball, high A ball in the minor leagues. So you're still facing a lot of, the premier competition. And that's the thing, is a lot of these guys that, maybe aren't playing anymore at this point in the season, that have already left for the draft. The guys that are still playing are either, hoping to rise their stock for next year, or are just already at that level but aren't eligible. Levi Clark, one of those guys, most likely. I have a feeling we'll hear his name called pretty early in the draft in a few years.
I mean, he's just been so fantastic. And the funny thing with Levi Clark right now, he's been having an ongoing conversation with some of the fans just to our right in the bleachers about his favorite positions, some of his other characteristics.
He's played a lot so far this season for the Gatemen. Catcher, first base, left field.
Always nice to see when the players interact with the fans.
Line back up the middle. Randall, an easy play over to first. There's the out. Run comes in to score. 9-2 advantage for Wareham. Second out of the sixth, and Falmouth plates another.
That ball was tagged by Harrison. Nice job by Randall to shade over quickly. Once he was there, plenty of time on the throw. Back-to-back innings with a run, but obviously this is why getting runs in bunches and to the extent of 5 runs in the second, 4 in the third really matters, because these situations with runners on base, they really just don't have that same kind of pressure when you're now up 8 and now 7.
Well, but just a tough break for O'Connor on the balk. Advance the runners. Would have been an easy double play there for Randall. Either way, still a 9-2 advantage for the Gatemen. Now you've got a guy on third. Justin Osterhaus up to bat. Trying to get out of this still with a 7-run cushion. Feel better about yourself moving in to the final 3 innings of action.
Yeah, the last thing you want, again, this game's pretty comfortable for the Gatemen right now, but Falmouth starts to chip away, things start to get interesting. Keep the lead in a really comfortable spot so you can just keep it on cruise control the rest of the way.
O'Connor's 1-1. Fastball misses high.
The other cool thing to see out here is this tiki torch is now lit. We talked about.
Yeah, we talked about him. What did we count? 5?
Yeah, 5 last game.
We can certainly see at least 3 of them from our vantage point. There's a few others there. I count 1 to the back left of that bullpen. And that's the one thing, Corey. This team's still 3 games under 500, but they're having fun.
They are. I mean, it kind of started with the triangle. Obviously, it doesn't seem like that's as big of a part maybe as it was the first couple games they brought it, but hey, it got this kind of win streak going.
Foul off to the backstop. Yeah, the triangle not at least visible from our vantage point in the dugout. You can see the string that it was hanging on. The last we knew, it was in field manager Ryan Smythe's bag.
So it was present. We just didn't know where exactly it was.
2-2. Just misses outside. O'Connor's payoff. Lined into right field. That's going to dump down in front of Turner. In comes Schmidt, and it's 9-3.
There's been a lot of hard contact against O'Connor, especially this inning. Morales, the fly out into right field, tagged that one pretty well. Schmidt, the base hit, you have a walk. Harrison got a good chunk of that one on the ground out, and then Osterhaus right here got plenty of it on that line drive base hit. He's only an out away from getting out of the inning, but there's been some loud balls put in play by the Commodores this inning.
First pitch finds the zone for O'Connor. Kind of feels like a spot now at that point when O'Connor entered up by 9. Cooper Consiglio, 4 shutout innings. We're just kind of hoping that it would be a spot where O'Connor could get some, low leverage reps in. Just keep his pitch count up. Runner goes, gets away from Rogers behind home plate in an easy 90 feet on the stolen base from Osterhaus.
We've seen the aggression on the base pass by the Commodores today. It's come back to bite them a lot of times. Consiglio picked a few guys off. There's Morales, who was caught stealing by Rogers. But coming into the game, Falmouth 50 of 59 stolen base attempts. They'd stolen the most bases of any team across the Cape, so they like to run.
Have to imagine that this is probably O'Connor's last inning. If he can go 2 full here. Foul tip, it's 1-2.
Yeah, especially given the contact recently, the past 2 batters. Really been swinging hot bats off of his pitches, but doing a nice job to eat up a couple innings and carry this game over to the back half, just trying to get that last out here and keep the lead at 6.
That's the thing. This is only his 3rd inning of action this summer, so, you get some low-leverage spots for him. Maybe you can feel better about what he can do in early August as the season progresses, and an easy ground out over to Randall. 3 outs here in the 6th. Falmouth plates 2 more. 9-3 advantage for Wareham here at Spillane Field. Gatemen trying to tack onto this lead on Cape League TV. Legacy Insurance has been servicing Wareham and the surrounding areas since 1980. Call Legacy Insurance for all your insurance needs at 508-295-1315. Legacy Insurance, your hometown agency.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings. They're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
When it comes to protecting your home, car, or business, trust the team that's been covering our community for generations. For personalized coverage and service that you can count on, the choice is easy. It's Morse, of course. Visit morseins.com today.
Falmouth scores 2 more in the 6th, cuts the lead down to just 6 runs for Wareham. Gatemen lead 9-3 over the Commodores alongside Cory Miller. I'm Josh Richardson. Cory, what a game so far tonight for Wareham, and now you have a chance to tack on some more runs. We've mentioned it, complacency kills. Mike Mobbs wants this team to be relentless innings 1 through 9. Here's a great opportunity to do it. And thinking about from last night, that was exactly what the Gatemen did against Hyannis, down 1-0 in the 8th, and who came through for the Gatemen but Caden McDonald.
The two-way player who's done it, as we talked about, on both sides of the ball this summer. I mean, the Hyannis pitching staff had really just blanked the Gatemen offensively, which was surprising given how Wareham is hit after snapping that 5-game skid. But the pinch hit to come off the bench cold in such a big spot down by a run, a pinch hit 2-run shot. Obviously, there's plenty left in the season, but if the Gatemen don't get that home run, I mean, obviously it sets them back a little bit in the standings. They're still in the mix, but what a huge homer.
Carnes flies one into right field. Wilson hugs the line, and he makes the grab. If one man can get on for the Gatemen, we could see McDonald in this inning. And what a hit that was, Cory. I mean, just an absolute no-doubt shot over into left field. Left his bat in a hurry, and it just completely flipped the game on its head. 342 feet into left field. Just a monster shot from McDonald. His 2nd home run of the season. Couldn't have come at a better time for the Gatemen.
In such a big game, too. I mean, listen, Hyannis has been struggling recently, but they've still been the division leader since the first day of the summer. And it's a team that you need to top in hopes of surpassing to stake your claim as the first-place team in the division.
Sheeran deals, big whiff. From Cruson, he's behind 0-2. And you mentioned that, Cory, how crucial it is to get those wins over Hyannis. Now the Gatemen are 2-1 against the Harbor Hawks this season. A win over Falmouth, also be 2-1. Fly ball into right field, drifting foul and out of play. But how big would that be? A team on a losing streak, you could grab your 4th straight win, and it could come against the 2 division leaders at this point in the season, and you take the season series lead over those 2 teams. It's big as you move into the second half of this slate. Cruson fouls one off and stays alive.
And listen, the way the standings look right now, there's a pretty good chance it's not going to be the way they finish at the end of the regular season, but we're through just over 50% of the summer, and Hyannis and Falmouth, the 2 top teams right atop the division. So the fact that you can play well against them just really sends the message to both teams that you're capable of taking on top opponents, playing well on all sides of the ball.
0-2 to Cruson, flies one into shallow center. Morales comes on a charge and waits back. 1-out single for Chase Cruson. He's got his first hit of the night.
It was really interesting to see Cruson's name slotted in that 4th spot in the order, but we talked about the way he's been swinging the bat. Why not? And Ryan Smythe just trying to churn out a lineup day in, day out, even if it looks slightly different, that is producing and doesn't have any off days. And Cruson just provides you that lefty kind of breaking up the righties. Clark Carnes righties, lefty Cruson righty, and Turner McDonald then. So in the way he's been swinging the bat, he has no homers, but he's been finding spots in the outfield, really been swinging a hot bat.
Strike into Colby Turner. Yeah, we've talked about it a lot with Braden Randall, that he's moved around from leadoff to the 5-hole, down at 8 or 9, using as a second leadoff man. Cruson, another guy that you can kind of pencil into the lower portion of this Gateman order, and he does his damage in his own right. First day of July against Chatham, 2 for 4. Then against Falmouth later that week, 2 for 4 with a double. He's got a few extra base hits to his name so far this month, a couple RBIs as well. He takes off for second. Throw is in time to get him. He stepped off the bag. Cruson caught stealing. 2 outs here in the 6th.
And that speed is typically one of his biggest assets, the team leader in stolen bases. Just a situation there where looked like the throw just beat him and then trying to get around the tag. We've seen a few of those moves to get around some tags tonight. Just couldn't do it there. As you said, came off the base a little bit too. That didn't help. So now no one on.
Now Turner behind 0-2. He fouls one back. Cruson, not somebody we've seen get thrown out a whole lot of times this season. Usually whenever he attempts to go, he's pretty successful, picks his spots well. Utilizes that defense defensively, or in the outfield. Center field, right field, primarily where Cruson has played. 0-2, Turner fouls it up and back.
And this might sound obvious, but I've said it before, and that's one of the things I love about Ryan Smythe is if you're swinging a hot bat, chances are he's going to elevate you and reward you and get you even more at-bats, and that's the case with Cruson. As you said, he spent a decent amount of time this summer, bottom part of the order, but the way he's produced lately, he's earned himself a trip up in the order, gotten some more at-bats. He has a single and a walk tonight, so he's delivered.
Pitch to Turner, misses downstairs. Just 2 guys tonight for the Gatemen without a hit. Hunter Carnes, Colby Turner, the only 2.
Those are 2 of your hottest bats, too, so that just tells you, again, everyone's clicking.
Tells you how well everybody else has been playing tonight, too. 1-2. Turner chops it and fouls it over the Gateman dugout.
And it's tough to kind of break into the top of this Gateman order if you're anyone not named Randall, Clark, or Carnes, but that's because that combination, 1, 2, 3 there, has worked so well for Wareham, and they're producing as they are. But, again, we've seen plenty of changes bottom half of the order, getting guys in.
Turner fouls one back again. Yeah, it's why those guys have been so good, and this front half of the lineup has been so productive game in and game out. Randall, and, everybody, when you look at their batting average, where they entered today, Randall over 300, Clark the same, Carnes the same, Cruson as well. And everybody's just been performing at such a high level. Pitch misses outside to Turner. He works the count even.
And to have all of these options in your lineup, especially in the second half of the season, sure, guys will slump at times. It's going to happen. It's inevitable.
Baseball.
But you're just seeing a team with so many hot options in the lineup.
2-2. Chopper over to second. Osterhaus gobbles it up and makes the throw over. 3 up, 3 down in the 6th. Sheeran faces the minimum, and the Gatemen still holding a 6-run advantage entering the final 3 innings of action here on Cape League TV.
If you need to dig, lift, move, grade, clear, or cut, pump, weld, clean, light, and just about anything else, dial up the rental source for the newest and the most reliable equipment in New England. Staffed with equipment and construction experts, Milton Rents, your local source.
As the sponsor of tonight's game, PCT Federal Credit Union is proud to root for the home team. We're thrilled to offer great rates on auto loans, home equity lines of credit, and so much more. Visit us on Cranberry Highway in West Wareham.
Reed Custom Soils, a subsidiary of the AD Makepeace Company, is New England's most experienced precision soil blender. Reed is the leading provider of the lightweight planting soil for green roof installations, stabilized stone dust for nature paths and pedestrian walkways, bioretention rain garden soils, and specialized soils for athletic fields, including your newly renovated Spillane Field. To learn more, visit reedcustomsoils.com.
Shameless Plug Electric, hitting home runs on every job. Wareham's top choice for electrical work. Call Shameless Plug Electric.
Another great night here at Spillane Field. Cory Miller, Josh Richardson. How fun is this? I mean, center field, the bleachers have kind of cleared out a bit. We still got some fans around. I mean, it's definitely getting around, late dinner time or mid-evening.
Yeah, and a game that started is still kind of a blowout, but definitely started as blowout material. 9-run lead.
Everybody
for Wareham.
got their money's worth in the first 2 innings.
Yep.
Although the games are free.
Yeah.
Just a great night here at the field. And Patrick Galley enters. Second righty in the game for the Gatemen. Second man out of the bullpen.
He's been really effective for Wareham. The ERA at 1.17. The only thing, obviously, to look out for the walks, 10 walks compared with just 7 strikeouts. But when he's around the zone, he's been so effective as a strikeout machine. When he's pitching in and around the plate, again, a lot of guys have just struggled to hit him. It's just a question of can he control all of his pitches and prevent any guys from reaching the easy way.
Galley's pitched pretty well this season. 1.1 ERA. That one issue, though, has been the 10 walks. It's one of those guys that's kind of struggled with control, but when he has it, he really locks down for this Gateman team. They'll face the bottom of the Falmouth lineup. Salinas, Wilson, and Newstrom. Lefty followed by 2 righties. First pitch from Galley. Fastball misses downstairs. It's 1-0.
And he's the guy, obviously, Falmouth has scratched across now 3 runs over the past 2 innings, but given his ERA, he gives you an option to really keep the lead where it is and prevent Falmouth from trying to make this a game now, later stages.
Chopped foul. Salinas moves the count to 1-1. Cory, you know what I always think is so interesting, especially now just covering Summer League baseball, is that a lot of these guys are our age or younger. Doesn't that make you feel
scary
weird,
to think
right?
about? Yeah.
I mean, you just pulled up, Patrick Galley's profile, how we make sure that we're keeping everything up to date on all of these guys. Grounder over to second. Randall gathers it and makes the throw over. But just seeing Patrick Galley, April 5th, 2004, his birthday, according to our website. My birthday is April 4th, so I'm 1 day older than Patrick Galley is. And he is pitching collegiately and hoping to hear his name called in the MLB draft. Isn't that weird to think about?
It is weird. And then especially the guys coming out of high school who are then even younger. And you see the year they were born at a certain point, and you're like, how is that possible to be born that recently?
I'm watching the NBA Summer League, and I see Cooper Flagg born in 2006. And
That shouldn't be possible.
I mean, what was I doing? Why wasn't I playing basketball? No, I was just broadcasting.
Just learning how to walk. Well, probably at that point we were both walking, but.
At 2? Yeah, I think. I mean, my parents could tell you when I took my first steps. Big swing and a miss from Wilson. Do you know how old you were when you took your first steps or said your first word? I don't have the conscience to remember that.
I've been told.
My memory doesn't go back that far.
I think one or the other I was a little late to do, but I think I was able to adapt fairly quickly.
That's good. Swing and a miss from Wilson. Galley's first strikeout of the night. 2 outs here in the 7th.
And you're seeing it here. Galley's been around the plate the first 2 batters, and he's gotten 2 outs, the ground out from Salinas. He was attacking Wilson with 3 strikes, all 3 swinging. And again, he's able to mix and match. He's throwing upper 90s, look to live. He can go down or up with those pitches, and then he fires in that breaking ball off of that. When you can mix and match and you have such a delta with velocity from your fastball to your breaking ball, it's tough to hit. You locate it. He's just such a great arm.
Seen Galley's fastball hit upwards of 96, 97, working a little bit lower than that today. 91 on that pitch. And overall, just looking at his stats, it's just been one of the more consistent arms out of the Gatemen bullpen. ERA down to just over 1.
And you know, Josh, you were mentioning the draft. We just got word that Hayden Yost, outfielder for the Gatemen, his brother Jordan was just picked 24th overall by the Detroit Tigers. So not a prototypical Gatemen selection, but still, I mean, that's a pretty neat coincidence.
And that's cool. And that's out of high school. Jordan Yost out of Sickles High School. Grounder over to third. Sheahan across the diamond in time. So just another example, Cory, of someone in high school 3 years younger than us just made their first 7-figure deal, you would imagine. Gatemen escaped the 7th, 3 up, 3 down for Falmouth, heading into the home half. Still a 9-3 Wareham lead. Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or a family member has been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all of the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website, www.rkm-law.com. A beautiful night from Spillane Field and a 9-3 Gatemen advantage. And Cory, just thinking about where this team was a week ago, start off July losing 5 straight. You bring it back. You've won 4 out of 5 so far this week, and you add a couple of big-name talents. One for the first time this season, getting his first action across Cape Cod. The other moving from the east over into the west.
And what a debut for both of them. Obviously, Ramirez played a couple innings last night as a defensive replacement. Gotten at bat as well, 0 for 1. But obviously, you know these guys are talented. But for them, in their first home game, Rogers, his first at bat to go yard, set the tone. And it's a situation for the Gatemen only having 2 catchers where a third guy behind home plate to absorb some of that wear and tear that comes with a 40-game season behind home plate that Levi Clark and Hunter Carnes have kind of gotten is so huge. And Ramirez to slot in there. He's hitting 9th, but he's been on base twice. He scored a run, and we're going to see a great deal of some of the web gems he could possibly provide defensively at shortstop as well.
Yeah, Carnes has taken a lot of those reps from behind home plate since he came in. Levi Clark playing at first base, a little bit in left field. Saw Clark play behind home yesterday against Hyannis, but now just gets to kind of take some time off, and obviously all three of them in the lineup today, but it just gives Ryan Smythe some more breathing room, some more cushion. It's pretty good for him. Jacob Schultz into the game, lefty for Falmouth, Cape League All-Star. First at bat, breaking ball finds the zone against Caden McDonald. McDonald 1 for 2 with a hit by pitch.
And Carnes has shown that he's capable of making those starts in multiple consecutive games. But again, back half of the season, you're really focused on keeping guys healthy. And you never know. We've seen Levi Clark absorb several nicks, bumps, and bruises, some swings that have hit off of his glove hand. And he's been able to fight through some of those, smaller injuries. But the last thing you need is one of your top bats and top players absorbing some of those injuries in the stretch.
1-2, chopper over to third, stays fair for Schmidt across the diamond in time. McDonald retired. Yeah, Clark's fought through a little bit. Saw him exit a game earlier this season. That was back on the 4th of July. Had a fastball kind of run up on him on his hands. Came back in following day and did play.
And it was one of those situations where if you're the Gateman, you just hold your breath because at the time you weren't sure, waiting to get back the results of an MRI, how long that injury would play out. Turned out it wasn't really bad at all, but anytime someone exits in a game you're trying to come from behind and win, you immediately kind of think of the worst. And Levi Clark has been a trooper, as is Hunter Carnes, but his ability to, again, absorb all of those bumps and bruises and continue to produce at such a high level has been such an added bonus for the Gatemen.
And his bat has still not lost a step, now on a 13-game hit streak this season. Should get another at-bat coming up in the 8th or 9th inning, but for now, Vance Sheehan. 2-0 misses downstairs. 3 balls, no strikes to the starting third baseman. Had a sac fly back in the 3rd and reached on an error in the 4th. His bat's starting to get hot over these last few games, but still trending right around 200. The Gatemen can bring that up for him. Should be good. Draws his second walk of the day on 4 pitches.
He's been getting on base, too, whether it's base hits or walks. The plate discipline really has been there. And as you said, he's been getting hot, so the 190 average doesn't really tell the whole story, but I think Ryan Smythe has left him in the lineup, obviously knowing that he's starting to get on base more and more, but also we've talked about his defense shifting over to third now with Ramirez at short, but he has anchored down that shortstop position really well defensively the past stretch of games, and the chemistry, he's talked about it with Braden Randall's really been impressive.
Here's the first of the 2 new guys. Drew Rogers takes a fastball that misses inside. Rogers had that electrifying 3-run home run in the 2nd inning. Gateman went on to score 2 more, 5-0 after 2. Plated 4 more in the 3rd. Drew a walk in the following inning. Had a nice Gateman debut for him. That one skips in the dirt behind Harrison, and an easy 90 feet for Sheehan. Advances without a throw.
And listen, the numbers for Rogers obviously weren't great, just hitting 167, a homer, 3 RBIs, but a chance for him to start clean. You know the talents there. We talked about how highly he was ranked by Perfect Game and other scouting platforms coming out of high school. Solid season, 269 as a freshman at Georgia Tech, so just another option as we've talked about for Ryan Smythe.
Schultz delivers a breaking ball, finds the zone. It's 1-1.
And I think he can really settle in nicely here, given that he doesn't have to be the guy the way that Levi Clark and Hunter Carnes are producing as catchers. There's not a ton of pressure on him to immediately come in and produce in a big way, although he has so far tonight.
Rogers fouls one's back. And it has to feel good. There are other options in front of him. Carnes usually that starting catcher, and I mean, he's played so well this season. Came in and it was extra base hit after extra base hit, had a pair of doubles one day, had a home run against Falmouth when these 2 teams met down in Falmouth last week. It's a luxury to have that type of production from your catcher. Breaking ball misses downstairs, and it's 3-2.
Yeah, from one catcher, let alone 2 or 3. And obviously this is Rogers, just his first game as a Gateman. But if he can continue to swing the bat moving forward second half of the season, the question just becomes, Ryan Smythe, how do you get all these guys at bats consistently?
Shane in scoring position. Payoff pitch. Misses in the dirt. And a full count walk for Rogers. Puts 2 on and 1 out here in the 7th.
So now an RBI situation for the second newcomer in Chris Ramirez. Good plate discipline by Shane and Rogers, fouling off some close pitches, getting on base, trying to get a few of the Falmouth runs back.
The Gatemen can score 4 here. Mercy rule would come into effect. Wareham was so close to it last Sunday in the win over Cotuit. It was 13-3 for a while. Ramirez swings and misses. Hudson Rowan trying to get those final 3 outs in the 7th. He had bases loaded. Ended up giving up a grand slam to Jack Natilli over in right center. Game continued. Wareham kept scoring. Ended up pulling away from the Kettleers 16-9. A 1 foul back.
And it's obviously not a necessity to take the game early, but I think it's just
it would
the
be pretty
icing on
nice.
the cake. You save arms in the bullpen plus the off day tomorrow. It just gives you an added boost of confidence that after the way you played against this Falmouth team last weekend, you can bounce back and completely flip the script.
0-2. Ramirez doesn't offer. Gets away from Harrison. Both runners advance. Now on second and third with 1 out here in the 7th. Yeah, off day tomorrow. They travel to Brewster on Tuesday. Third matchup of the season with the Whitecaps. They've split 1-1. And back home for Harwich Wednesday, at Cotuit Thursday, back home against Bourne on Friday. So that's the week. And then you get 2 back-to-back days off for the All-Star game next weekend. Delivery home, Ramirez fouls it off.
And it's going to be a pretty, I guess you could say, pivotal week for the Gatemen, because if you hold on tonight, you're right within striking distance of Falmouth and Hyannis. You couldn't leapfrog them with a win tonight. But this coming stretch of games, if you continue this hot streak, you're in a position, if you're Wareham, to take that first place spot.
1-2, misses upstairs for Ramirez. Count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bourne loses to Harwich 3-1. Cotuit beats Hyannis 8-1. So Wareham picks up a win. Kettleers and the Gatemen will still be tied at 22 points. But Hyannis loses. You hold on here to beat Falmouth. You're within 1 point of first place. Ramirez, grounder back up the middle, right off of the mound. Difficult play from the shortstop Newstrom. He doesn't have one. Run comes in to score for the Gatemen. Ramirez reaches first safely. The infield certainly playing to Wareham's advantage there. 10-3.
Another productive at-bat by a Gateman newcomer. Rogers and Ramirez have done a lot of damage, both sides of the baseball, too. You said a tough play. For a pitcher to have to get rid of that baseball, then a split second later react immediately and field his position cleanly is a lot easier said than done. Tough break for the Commodores.
Here's the top of the order. Braden Randall takes a pitch upstairs, 1-0.
And you were talking about those scores, Josh. It really is amazing how just a week or two ago, given where Wareham and Cotuit were, and where Hyannis was, the fact that all of a sudden the 2 teams bottom part of this division are making their case to maybe be the 2 top teams in the division.
Cotuit had 1 win for what felt like the longest time throughout the early portion of the season, and that 1 win came against Wareham, so certainly not to the Gatemen's pleasure. And Cotuit finally starts to get some wins. A couple tough losses for Wareham against Bourne. Randall tries to drop a bunt down. It goes foul. But now you finish out this win over Falmouth today. You're 2-1 against the Commodores on the season. You picked up the win against Hyannis, 2-1 against the Harbor Hawks on the year. Just really feels like things are starting to come together cleanly. 4-game win streak. Could be 5 of 6 during this week. Delivery to Randall. Fastball just misses. 2-2.
And at this rate, you're not sure if Hyannis or Falmouth might be the 2 top teams in the division for a whole lot longer if these trends continue.
They were
for
a large portion of the year.
And
those are the
reason
teams
for
that you're chasing.
Yeah.
So you have to treat them as such at that point at least. 2-2 from Schultz. Randall hacks and misses. Breaking ball fooled him there. Runners remain on the corners. 2 outs here in the 7th.
But it's why you just have to look at all of these divisional games, no matter the current standings, what the trends may be. It's just a must-win game, and obviously you have some margin for error across a 40-game season. But things change. We talked about it in the East with Brewster and YD both exchanging hot streaks and flip-flopping first and second in the standings. And when everyone's sandwiched together in the West, first to fifth, every game's important because it has impact on the standings when you have everyone so closely together.
Quick check over to first. Ramirez back in safely. Just all of these games really mattering so much more. Clark skies one foul and out of play. And that was something that even back in the early portion of the season that Falmouth manager Jared Saltalamacchia had talked about a lot, was that all of these games just start to matter so much more. That was what was said heading into the first matchup between these two teams. Wareham came away with a 4-1 win. And that still rings true now. Second half of the year, everybody's still fighting for playoff position. Clark grounds one over to short. Newstrom easy toss to second, and Osterhaus covers the bag. Side retired for Falmouth. One run comes in to score for the Gatemen. Lead extended to 7. 10-3 advantage for Wareham heading into the 8th on Cape League TV.
Wareham-based AD Makepeace Company, founded in 1854, is North America's largest cranberry grower and recognized leader in environmentally responsible real estate development and land stewardship. For 171 years, AD Makepeace Company has supported community events and organizations like your Wareham Gatemen. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
For a good piece of glass, call Abby, located at 3 Tyler Ave in East Wareham. Call Abby Glass and Locks about getting a free quote for your windows, doors, locks, and other glass needs.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we know there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. Now that's how we all win. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Back at Spillane Field, 10-3 advantage for the Gatemen. Patrick Alley, a solid inning. We move into the 8th with a big advantage for Wareham. Has to feel good, and now you can bring in Tommy Skelding. Griffin O'Connor had his second outing of the season, and now you bring in Skelding for his third.
Opportunity for Tommy Skelding to try and build that resume in his short stint with the Gatemen even more. The ERA is elevated at 15.43, but that doesn't really tell the whole story. Pitched a couple innings against Bourne back on the 4th of July. Really effective first time pitching through the order. Then he went back out there for a third inning. That's where things kind of fell apart. Some walks, some base runners came out of the game. They came in to score, but he's got some good stuff and a chance with a comfortable lead to just play catch with Rogers behind home plate. Not have to worry about a whole lot with your team up by 7.
And he was somebody that was really excited to get the call. College teammates with Caius Gargett. Gargett, of course, now moving on to TCU. But two guys that were really familiar with each other, so he was pretty comfortable coming into this Gateman squad.
Yeah, and those two were really good friends, not just teammates, but they are really kind of close as a friend, so a unique coincidence. Obviously, collegiate programs have a lot of players, get along well, know each other well, but really good friends, Caius and Tommy, on and off the field.
Skelding goes home. Fastball misses outside. Top of the order for Falmouth, Morales, Schmidt, and Schmidt. Carl and Kent, respectively. 1-0. Fastball misses at the letters. 2 balls, no strikes. We got to know Tommy a little bit.
We did.
Shared a host family with him on Host Family Appreciation Night, no less. Big shout out to Mike and Mary Chaplin for hosting us this summer. We've had a nice experience living with them.
We really
I'd
have.
say. Yeah. Thank them for all that they do.
We certainly made an effort to make our appreciation known when they called out their name on the PA system tonight. A little tougher to do all the way out in center field, but I think we were pretty loud.
Well, that's the thing, is that we obviously couldn't participate by going on the field and being with them and celebrating them while all of the players were with their host families. We had to be here on the broadcast, but I mean, we did our best to be pretty loud so they could know that we cared. Ramirez showcases some leather, throws out Morales at first. Yeah, how long did Tommy live with us?
It was only about 2 days because he was just sort of not a last-minute ad, but there was short notice, so they were trying to work out with host families on vacation his kind of more permanent home for the summer. So in that interim period was with us.
Now, we've never confirmed this, Cory, with him. But I believe that the morning that he was moving out,
oh God,
Tommy fell down the stairs.
Oh boy, I didn't
in
think
the
you'd do
Chaplin
this.
house.
Catching strays.
I mean, it's not necessarily a stray. I mean, I just remember waking up to a very loud noise down the stairs. We need to ask him about it after the game to make sure.
It was a thud.
He's clearly all right on the mound. But, I mean, he certainly took a stumble.
Yeah. Oh, man. It was ear-grabbing, I can tell you that. And, listen, it happens to all of us.
We've all fallen down the stairs at one point in our lives.
Yeah, sure. I've almost fallen down the bleachers out here in Sundays in Center a couple times tonight. Haven't made it all the way down, though.
And he was such a nice kid, which is why I make the joke.
Well, on a brighter side, we did also get a chance to play wiffle ball with him as well.
Yeah. He struck me out a few times. Actually, struck me out more than a few times.
Yeah, I don't think I hit particularly well off of him either.
I know I struck you out once.
You did? I had a few shots, into the trees and whatnot. I don't remember who really I was hitting them off.
It was probably off of me.
Yeah.
I don't think we were hitting a whole lot off of.
Well, it wasn't. He was just kind of going through the motions. He's like, here are two guys. I don't even need to go at 25%.
I've just met these guys 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Had a pretty quick eighth inning here. 2 up, 2 down. 3-0 count to Schmidt, though. Fastball misses outside, and a 4-pitch walk for Schmidt brings up Harrison, the cleanup hitter.
It's gotten kind of lonely out here, Josh. Most of the fans that were in the bleachers, there were a lot of them. They've all mostly vacated. I mean, listen,
the sun's gone down.
This
the game's
game is
kind of out of reach at this point.
It's 4 outs. That means it's just a little easier for me to catch. Hey, there we are. A little easier for me to catch a fly ball home run, maybe.
You won't have as many competition with all of the kids that were out here. I know our producer, Chuck Luarasi, tried to steal a foul ball from a few children over the last few games. But
yeah, and he hasn't been successful.
No, he hasn't.
It's the age and like half the success, though. I mean, that would be cherry on top if we got a home run hit out to us.
A Wareham home run.
Yeah, ideally.
Perhaps. I would like that.
Ideally.
Swing and a miss from Harrison behind 0-1. That's Chuck in our ear saying that he will get a foul ball at some point.
He's going to injure a little kid trying to get one of those. He's just going to barrel
them
over.
Or himself.
Yeah, likely that, too.
0-2. Skies one foul out of play down the first baseline. 2 ground outs for Skelding and then the walk.
I mean, as you were talking about, I got that one from Henry Ford, which was pretty cool, so I feel like I already have gotten my fair share, but it would be pretty cool in a live game to actually get that one.
Lead beat writer Joe McLaughlin also caught one on the Monster on Fenway Day.
And that's pretty cool. Obviously, it was BP, so not a live game, but you'll take it because these are guys, future stars that, could hear their name called tonight if they're eligible. If not, a year or two down the line.
You just think about it. I caught a home run from, maybe during batting practice, I caught a home run from, could be an MLB All-Star. Skelding hits Harrison. That one didn't look great. Takes off his helmet. Make sure that he's okay. That was similar to what happened to Caden McDonald earlier. 2 on, 2 outs here in the 8th.
Yeah, this one looked like a breaking ball that just Skelding did not have control over. Just trying to locate it, just didn't snap it down. And you'd obviously prefer that to a fastball in the helmet, but always scary when a pitch is coming.
Nothing to the helmet.
That would be optimal. Always a little scary no matter the pitch when it's coming up and in.
Skelding got the first two outs pretty quickly. Schmidt with a hit by pitch. Schmidt with a walk. Harrison with a hit by pitch. Here's Justin Osterhaus. 2 on, 2 outs in the 8th. Skelding goes home. Osterhaus fouls it off down the left field line.
Four more outs in this one. All you need if you're Skelding and the Gatemen. You've played such a great game wire to wire, just trying to get out of this inning here.
You don't want to give Falmouth any life, I feel like. Just get this out. They're still down 7, then heading into the final inning of action. Whereas you have 2 on and 2 outs here in the 8th. Osterhaus rips a double down the line into the gap. Maybe scores both runs. It's only 5. Still a pretty large deficit, but not as bad as it could be. Two foul balls from Osterhaus. Skelding ahead in the count. Delivers. Chopper over to second. Nice play from Randall. Flips over to first, and that retires the side. Falmouth leaves 2 stranded in the top of the 8th. Wareham hoping to tack on a few more in the home half on Cape League TV. Still 10-3 advantage for the Gatemen.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
A+ repairs smartphones, tablets, game consoles, and computers. Get it done right the first time.
Cape Cod Central Railroad is proud to sponsor the Wareham Gatemen for the 2nd year in a row. Experience the scenic beauty of Cape Cod like never before. Journey through picturesque marshes, cranberry bogs, and dunes on our historic rail line. Whether you're savoring a 5-course gourmet dinner, enjoying a Sunday brunch with a live jazz band, or bringing the family on a narrated excursion, there's a ride for everyone. Departing from Hyannis and Buzzards Bay, visit capetrain.com to book your ride today.
Back here in left center at Spillane Field, my partner Cory Miller went to go get his jacket. You were caught sleeping on the job.
I didn't make it back in time?
No, you didn't, but it's okay.
Boy.
I'm here to pick up the slack for you. Josh Richardson
missed.
on hand. We're having some fun out here at Spillane Field tonight. It's a 10-3 Gateman advantage, so you can't really blame us. Wareham 9 runs in the first 3 innings. Just 3 outs away from extending this win streak to 4, 5 of the last 6. But still a chance to tack on a few more with this big advantage. It'll be the heart of the order coming up to bat. Carnes, Cruson, and Turner.
This is where we need a home run hit to us. That would just be so awesome. It's tough because it's such kind of a small margin right here, and we're a little bit constrained by the equipment and everything to our left and right, but that's the only thing that's been missing from this game tonight. The offense has been great for the Gatemen. The pitching's been great. Defense has been really solid. We just need a home run right here.
And again, it's not like it can't happen, right?
No.
I mean, during batting practice, we've seen the Gatemen leave the yard a handful of times. Colby Turner actually hit one probably about 4 or 5 rows above us. I was getting nervous. I threw your glove on because I needed to protect the equipment. Of course, I wanted to make the catch too, flash some leather, but it was still a bomb. The Gatemen have hit a few home runs during some live action here, mainly into left field. A lot of righty hitters. Carnes has a home run this season, just not at Spillane Field. Gets ready, first pitch to him, misses up and in.
Yeah, he had that homer at Falmouth last Saturday, and Gateman had that initial 2-0 lead before everything kind of fell apart. But you never know. As you said, it's a feasible spot where we are, and we've definitely seen a lot of BP homers to left field. The guys mostly pulling the ball. They're lefty to right. and if they're righty to left. But you were saying Colby Turner definitely was in this general area in the bleachers in left field. He's due up third this inning.
Well, sixth pitcher into the game for Falmouth, Robbie Porco, has a 9 ERA, 8 innings pitched, 5th appearance, all out of the bullpen. Only has 1 home run allowed this summer so far, so might be a little difficult, but chance for the Gatemen to maybe tack on a few more and tonight early. Fastball misses up and in a 4-pitch walk for Carnes, starts off the 8th.
It's definitely never ideal to use this many arms if you're Falmouth, but again, we've seen this before, a little bit from the Gatemen, not to the extent of Falmouth's bullpen usage, but when you don't get a strong start from your starter and you're behind from the get-go, especially when Siffler came in as the second pitcher and he really struggled, especially with his control. It's just a situation with an off day tomorrow. You're just trying to get guys some work, trying to get them in, and you have some margin for error because, again, everyone gets a rest day tomorrow.
Here's Chase Cruson, takes a fastball upstairs. So during the break, you ran to your car to get what, your jacket?
My jacket.
It was getting a little too cold for you with the wind?
It was, and I was remembering last night when most games it's typically stayed fairly warm even as the sun is set. Last night it was chilly, especially since we weren't in the sun.
It got a little bit.
I will say, though,
Hyannis is right on the water.
It is.
Which is a main reason why.
I will say that there have been a couple of times this summer, though, where I've ran to get food in between innings, and I have beat the clock back before we get back on air.
You got pizza at Hyannis one time, I remember.
Yeah, and that's a good spot to get it because the snack stand is right by where we set up. So sometimes it's a little tough because there's a ways to go, and we only have about 65 to 90 seconds for our breaks.
And it's tough for here, main concession stand all the way in left field.
I will say, closer tonight.
Delicious food, I will say. 4-pitch walk for Cruson, and now 8 straight balls for Porco to start off the 8th. 2 on, nobody out. Now Colby Turner comes up. He could end this game with 1 swing.
Why not right to us? It really hasn't mattered who's been on the mound.
Could you imagine?
Oh, man.
Walk-off mercy rule home run right into the glove of Cory Miller.
Wow. That would just kind of be the poetic end of this game for Falmouth. And we've talked about it. It's just been such a 360 to where nothing could go right for the Gatemen last Saturday, and nothing's really gone right for the Commodores here tonight.
Yeah, 8 days ago, these two teams met at Gov Fuller Field in Falmouth. Commodores came away with an 11-4 win, mainly because Wareham committed 7 errors in that one. Jumped out to a 2-0 lead. Hunter Carnes, 2-run home run. Outscored 11-2 following. It was a tough outing defensively. Since then, the season has just been completely turned around. At least the month of July has, really. Gatemen at that point dropped down to 6-12. Rallied, now 10-13 on the year. 3 outs away from 11-13. There's ball 9 from Porco.
And if the Gatemen can end it early here in the top of the 9th, just thinking about the amount of momentum this team has, the turnaround, obviously, from the 5-game skid to what could be a 4-game winning streak, and then these past 3 against divisional opponents.
Ball 10 gets away from Harrison, but not far enough for Carnes and Cruson to advance, so they stay at first and second.
And the manner in which they've won these games, 2 close contests, 5-4 against Bourne on Friday, and just a great back-and-forth game. The come-from-behind victory thanks to Caden McDonald last night, and just an onslaught here tonight.
Finally, the first strike.
And we talked about a little bit earlier in the week, looking for the Gatemen to put all 3 components together. Sometimes it was one, not the other. Sometimes it was the hitting, sometimes it was the pitching that did well and the other didn't. But these past stretch of games, especially over the course of this win streak, everything's combined together to pitch really great games. Pitching's been there, offense has been there, and the defense has been there.
It's been everything so far tonight. 10 runs scored, 3 allowed, just 1 error. Porco goes home, misses downstairs. 4-pitch walk, 4-pitch walk, 5-pitch walk. Puts Turner on first, and the bases are loaded for Robbie Porco here in the 8th.
It's just been tough sledding for Porco. He hasn't been able to locate either his fastball or his breaking ball whatsoever. There's really been nothing for any of these Gatemen hitters to offer at. Interesting to see if he kind of over-adjusts, tries to make a perfect pitch, and it gives McDonald something to hit, or if the location struggles continue.
13 pitches, just 1 strike for Porco in this 8th. McDonald sees a fastball, takes it all the way. It's in for the zone. McDonald had a single back in the 2nd. He was hit by a pitch in the 3rd. You go back over the last 2 days, a couple of clutch hits that he can add to his season resume. Grounds 1 over to 2nd. Could be 2. Flip to the 2nd for 1. No play over to 1st, so a run scores. Moves to 11-3 on the night. McDonald reaches safely on the fielder's choice.
Hard hit ball there. Obviously, he didn't get through the infield, but you know, Shohei Ohtani gets a lot of attention and lore, rightfully so, because it really is so hard for a two-way player to succeed on both sides. But Caden McDonald, what he's done, I think he's earned a lot of respect, rightfully so. The way he's pitched on the mound, especially lately, and just his work last night, the huge pinch hit homer, obviously. But his ability, as you talked about, not getting a lot of reps as a hitter this past spring at Florida, to come in and produce on both sides in some really big spots. You can't say enough about that guy.
Well, it's funny, you know, as soon as you mention Shohei Ohtani, everybody's ears are kind of going to perk up.
Yep.
But McDonald is somebody that has really kind of lived up to that hype, as it seems. You know, he started the year coming out of the bullpen a lot, made a save against Brewster. It was a 2-1 win over the Whitecaps. Got a start against Orleans back on Wednesday. 5 innings, just 2 earned runs allowed. Struck out 2, got the win, shortened game. And then offensively, 2 hits, 2 RBIs against Bourne. Cashed in the insurance run in the 7th, made it 5-3. Bourne scored 1 in the 9th, so that insurance run proved to be the difference. Yesterday, down by 1, pinch hit, 2-run home run into left field. He's been nothing short of spectacular. Line out to right field. Cruson heading home. Throw is not in time. 12-2 lead for Wareham here in the 8th. McDonald stays on first, and a sac fly from Van Sheyen gives Wareham a dozen runs tonight.
Sheyen tagged that ball. It's unfortunate that he's not going to be rewarded with a base hit for it, but we've talked about how he's been swinging a hot bat. Ripped that ball right there, right at Wilson, unfortunately, but he gets another RBI. He's had a really nice game, nice stretch of games, especially offensively now, combining it with the glove. Now another chance for Drew Rogers getting another at-bat.
It's not often that 15 runs can get scored in a baseball game and still have it be on pace to go under 3 hours. That's where we're at now. At least it's going to be pretty close, right around that 3-hour mark. Just one of those games, Cory, that just builds so much momentum for Wareham. Just continued to score runs. Didn't stop after the 5 in the first inning. Followed it up with 4 more in the 3rd. Another in the 7th, 2 more here in the 8th. Totals up to 12 for a 9-run advantage.
1 through 9, just so many productive at-bats, and everyone's been contributing for Wareham.
Swing and a miss for Rogers. But we go back now, Cory. Let's just look back to last Sunday here and just think about how far this team really has come since then in terms of offensive production, where this team has been at. Rogers chops one foul down the first baseline. Get to it last Sunday, 16-9 win. 5-2 loss to Brewster on Tuesday. Then a 10-2 win against Orleans. That's 28 runs in 3 games. Add 5 more in a 1-run win over Bourne on Friday. Another in the 3-2 win over Hyannis. And now 12-3 against Falmouth. That's 48 runs. Fly ball into center. Morales under it. Squares it and makes the grab. Wareham retired for likely the final time tonight, and just 3 outs away from the 11th win of the season, right here on Cape League TV.
need to dig, lift, move, grade, clear, or cut, pump, weld, clean, light, and just about anything else, dial up the rental source for the newest and the most reliable equipment in New England. Staffed with equipment and construction experts, Milton Rents, your local source.
As the sponsor of tonight's game, PCT Federal Credit Union is proud to root for the home team. We're thrilled to offer great rates on auto loans, home equity lines of credit, and so much more. Visit us on Cranberry Highway in West Wareham.
Reed Custom Soils, a subsidiary of the AD Makepeace Company, is New England's most experienced precision soil blender. Reed is the leading provider of the lightweight planting soil for green roof installations, stabilized stone dust for nature paths and pedestrian walkways, bioretention rain garden soils, and specialized soils for athletic fields, including your newly renovated Spillane Field. To learn more, visit reedcustomsoils.com.
Shameless Plug Electric, hitting home runs on every job. Wareham's top choice for electrical work. Call Shameless Plug Electric.
Top of the ninth, just 3 outs remaining tonight. And as we come to a close here from Spillane Field, we'd like to remind you that this broadcast is a copyrighted production of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Any unauthorized duplication, retransmission, or other use is strictly prohibited. Cory, 3 outs remaining here tonight. This one, at this point, all but over. And so now we'll take a look at what else has gone final around Cape Cod. Katuitt, a monster win over Hyannis. We talked about that being a possibility. It ends up 8-1. Chatham takes down YD 7-2. Red Sox continue to slip in that division. Don't worry, though. Orleans with a comfortable lead over Brewster, 8-3. Bourne falls to Harwich as well. It really seems like, Brewster, YD fall. Harwich picks up a big win. The East is getting tighter. The West already is, as tight as it kind of can be at this point. First place within probably, 2-3 games of last when you look at it. After Bourne will be in last place with that loss officially. Wareham creeping up.
It'll be really interesting to see how the last couple weeks play out now in the second half of the season. Do the top teams that have been there through most of the season, are they able to fend off some of these challenging teams? Listen, it's just, Brewster loses to Orleans, top team against the fourth-place team, and YD losing to Chatham, second-best team losing to the fifth-best team. Listen, that's going to happen. We've already talked about that. It's just interesting to see how early on there was a lot of distance between the top and the bottom of the divisions. That's not the case really anymore in either division. There's a lot of teams all bunched together, which makes it exciting because it makes that chase for the playoffs really interesting and really competitive.
Yeah, and 4 teams of the 5 from each division make the playoffs, which makes things really interesting. It's going to be a dramatic finish, at least it seems like right now. When we get to that end of the game tonight, Logan Baisley in, replacing Tommy Skelding, trying to get those final 3 outs. Seen Baisley in a relief role lately. A couple outings from him in that spot.
He got the last couple outs, earning the save in that huge 5-4 win over Bourne on Friday. See a guy who started a lot of games, then you can't even say enough, I think, about the work he did in the 9th inning to give the Gatemen that win.
2-2 got his first out swinging. Wareham 2 outs away from the 11th win of the season. Isn't that going to be weird to think about just because of how important some ties are to some teams? Wareham is going to have tied for the most wins in the West Division after tonight, pending this score holds. Hyannis falls now down to 10, 11, and 2. Gatemen 11 and 13, but because of those 2 points, Hyannis stays 1 point above Wareham at this point in the season. Lined over to second. Randall gobbles it up, and he makes the play.
Nice play by Randall right there. And what will also be really interesting with Falmouth and Hyannis losing, Falmouth obviously an out away from that now, there will not be a single team in the West after tonight's action above 500.
Wow.
Or even at 500.
Yeah. It's incredible to think about, and then it really makes you think. Harwich grabs the win, so they move to 11, 9, and 3. YD falls, Brewster falls, Both of those teams, though, at 14 and 13 wins, respectively. So the regular season has certainly been a lot kinder to the East Division than it has to the West. But even still, Wareham has wins over 1 through 4 in the East. The only team that the Gatemen haven't beat are the Anglers. Just shows that when you get to the playoffs, record is not going to mean as much as you think. And even then, you don't have to think about any of those East teams until the final. Still have to think about all the West teams. Wareham has at least one win over every single team in its own division. Baisley fires. High fly ball into left field. Shallow territory, hugging the line. Sliding grab from Clark. He can't make the play. That would have been a spectacular way to finish off a night full of fireworks.
It was a long run for him and Ramirez. Just watching Ramirez from out here, the amount of ground he was able to make up there, he is just blazing speed. And again, credit Levi Clark, obviously primary catcher, the work he's been able to put in defensively in the outfield. He's done a really solid job. The effort's been there 110%. And that's just an added bonus because obviously the bat, you expect that, but he's been great in left field too.
And Ramirez, you talk about him covering ground. And we saw it during batting practice, him flashing some of the leather, making some leaping grabs, showcasing his range. He pulled off a couple really nice plays that he made look really easy tonight. But then offensively still capitalized as well for Wareham. 2 for 3, double and a walk. Had a pretty nice outing.
So many talented players hitting well, hitting their stride in the lineup. A good problem to have if you're Ryan Smythe.
1-2 from Baisley. Swing and a miss. Pair of strikeouts in the 9th. Baisley retires the side. And the Gatemen take one away from the Commodores. 12-3 final here from Spillane Field. Wareham up 2-1 in the season series against Falmouth. Good for the 11th win of the Gatemen season.
The Gatemen are hot, folks. Ever since snapping that 5-game skid in an emphatic way against Katuitt, they've only dropped that contest against Brewster. They have now won 4 straight games, including 3 straight against divisional opponents. This was such an amazing weekend for the Gatemen. You beat Bourne 5-4 in such a close, highly contested contest. The pinch hit go-ahead two-run homer by Caden McDonald to snatch victory really from the jaws of defeat against Hyannis. And then tonight against Falmouth, the top 2 teams in division in back-to-back games. You come away with wins. And what a 360 from last Saturday when nothing could go right against Falmouth when you made 7 errors to tonight, and you absolutely obliterate them 12-3. The Gatemen are just playing fantastic baseball all around.
You know, we got to talk to Gatemen first base coach Rocco DiPietro after the win over Bourne on Friday. Something that he mentioned was, well, you know, it'd be nice to grab one of these last 2, and then you take 2 out of 3 against your division opponents. Well, if you're Wareham, you just took 3 out of 3.
Well,
you can't be feeling better about yourself at this point in the season. Just building momentum. It was a slow start. Started off the season 3-game losing streak, battled back, was hovering around 500, and then lose 5 straight to start the month of July. But now you've really just erased that. You're just 2 games under that 500 mark. And you've got to feel pretty good about yourself with just a couple weeks left in this season.
You really do, because you look at the schedule moving forward, and if you can carry over this hot streak into next week after the off day tomorrow, you win a couple more games, you might be in first place. The win tonight moves you just a point back of those 2 division leaders. So you're in a prime spot. The Gatemen haven't been in that first place spot all season long. So listen, they keep this going, pretty soon they're going to find themselves the leaders in the West Division.
A well-deserved day off for Wareham tomorrow before getting back in action on Tuesday, a battle against Brewster from Stony Brook Field. First pitch is set at 5. You can catch all the action on Cape League TV and on YouTube. But for now, that's all that we have. For Cory Miller, our producers Chuck Luarasi and Abby Smith, our sideline reporter Rayna Maggelet, I'm Josh Richardson, signing off here from left center field. Good night. The Gatemen take this one 12-3 over the Commodores.